give them a chance to rally. And now Kyle Manzardo clobbers it to deep right field. Gone! And the Guardians go ahead 6-5. 2-2. Juan coming in. Going out Jose. Bucket! Ramirez hangs on to finish the game. Superman hitting the ball in the air to center field. The starting pitcher hits a monster home run. He is out of this world.
That catcher's interference?
That's a good question.
The call on the field is overturned. There is catcher's interference.
Wow! The Phillies have won on a catcher's interference.
Tag your bags.
Baseball is amazing.
And this is hooked to left field, and it's into the corner. Springer is in to score. Guerrero is getting the wave. And he'll come into a 2-run double for Bichette to give the Blue Jays the lead.
And so it's ground ball up the middle, base hit. Acuña's in. Here comes Lindor. The game is tied.
Boy, what a wild night in Major League Baseball last night. It was crazy. Big plays, walk-offs. Somebody won on a catcher's interference at the end of the night last night. Ohtani, starting pitcher, hits a 450-foot home run. But most of all, the Guardians scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs last night. 10! And they took care of the Baltimore Orioles. Now, you know that we've whittled, I love that word, whittled the Detroit Tigers lead down to 10 in the division? Just throw that out there. Just throwing it out there because at one point, I think we were 15 and a half or 16 and a half out. And no, I'm still not saying we're going to catch the Tigers, but we've got it down to 10. And more importantly, the Guardians knocked a game off last night for the chase for the third wild card. They are now 3.5 games behind. And as of today, and things can change day to day, it's fluid, but they only have to jump over Texas and Tampa Bay right now to get that third spot. So a good night last night. Good night for the Guards. Good night for the offense. And a good night all the way around. Welcome in to the Sam Bourquin Show. How are you? What could we have a more beautiful day? Could it be any more pristine outside right now? I just went outside a couple of minutes ago. I said, is this real? It's 80 degrees. There's like zero humidity, blue skies, not a cloud to be seen. It is absolutely picturesque. And if you get the chance today, or maybe you're already outside right now, go outside and enjoy one of the most beautiful days we have had in a long, long time. And I know you're saying, Sam, but then what are you going to follow that up with? What's the but and then the apostrophe? But it's all going away. In a couple of days, it's going to be like 92, disgusting humidity, and thunderstorm chances for like the next 5 days. So get out today and maybe even a little bit tomorrow and enjoy what Mother Nature has bestowed upon us here in Northeast Ohio. It is absolutely phenomenal. If there was a day we would ever do the show out in our parking lot here at 1310 WDPN, today's the day. Like today's the day. We wouldn't even need a paperweight to put on our card table to hold papers down. That's how beautiful it is today. There's no wind. It's just blue sky, sunshine, and no humidity. If you're out and about today, consider yourself lucky and enjoy and take every minute that you possibly can. All right, we want to thank you and welcome you into the program today. Let you know you can also watch and listen to us live on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page and X page, and of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Phone lines are open as always at 330-821-1310. You can text the show anytime at 924-7088. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg across the glass. So the Guardians explode for 10 wins to 10 wins. Yeah, they got 10 wins last night. How about that? They got 10 runs last night. They'll try it again this evening. 6:40 first pitch at Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland. Cleveland Browns training camp underway. I saw some video clips of Myles Garrett strolling in today, Denzel Ward, and they're ready to go. I don't know what kind of year it's going to be. I don't know what the Browns' end game is. We'll talk about that this afternoon. I still think they're about a 3 or 4 win team, but hey, it's training camp and they're ready to roll. Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival is right around the corner. You realize that the balloons and the food and the drone show and the fireworks and that of Kent Stark is this weekend? Yeah. Starts this Friday. We're just a couple of days away. So if you can, get on out there and check that out this weekend. I am hoping and praying that the weather comes through. I know just don't even look at the forecast for like Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. Don't even look at it. I'm just telling you, I am hoping that the Mother Nature comes through for us this weekend, because we're surely going to need it, because there's a lot of great activities going on. So the poll question of the day, we thought we would tie that in with what's going on. The festival actually, getting underway this weekend. And, of course, next week it really kicks into high gear with all the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival enshrinement activities that we love and enjoy that come around here once a year. So I was thinking today, what could we, as far as the festival, I got it. And this is for us to maybe get the word out to those that are coming to our town, to our city, to our region next week. Poll question today: what is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every out-of-towner visiting for Hall of Fame week? Now, those of you who have already given me 7 or 8, the question is, what is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every out-of-town visitor that comes in for Hall of Fame week? 330-821-1310. You can text 330-924-7088. Drop it in our comments on all of our social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you can find us, AM 1310 WDPN. Tons and tons of response coming in. We'll get to those throughout the show. We have our On This Day in Sports History coming up around 5:27 today. But we got to start with a little bit of sadness today. Little sad today. The Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, passed away at the age of 76. And I started thinking, wow. Like the first thing if you've been following along with Ozzy and the stuff that's been out on social media, this was like, I think he knew that this day was coming fairly soon. And I just sat there. I was back in the office, and I'm sitting at the desk, and I'm just going, wow, Ozzy Osbourne is no longer with us. And yeah, 76 is, it's a good run. I don't consider 76 old anymore. I don't think anybody does. Now, Ozzy got after it, man. He lived a hard life. You go back to his days with, when he broke into the business and Black Sabbath, then he went out on his own and had the reality show and had all his family doing things. And Ozzy got after it. He partied, he sang, he lived life like no other. But just the fact that, a music icon like that, and somebody maybe that you might have followed throughout his career, it's sad. It's a sad day for the music world, the entertainment world. Sad day for everybody. Ozzy Osbourne passing away at the age of 76. So we're gonna try to do our part today. Some of our bumper music coming back from breaks. We'll put out some Ozzy Osbourne for you today. I also started thinking, man, what are some of my, I wasn't like how do I say this? I wasn't I wasn't like Mr. Black Sabbath growing up. I wasn't, following Ozzy around to every tour stop, every concert that he ever gave. I never even saw Ozzy in concert. But I do remember I grew up in when MTV was cooking. And I remember watching the videos and saying, man, that guy, he can perform. Ozzy is an entertainer. And I remember that. And I started thinking about some of the songs, that I kind of liked about Ozzy Osbourne. Loved Crazy Train. Paranoid. Those are probably my two favorite. But I got to wonder, what was some of your favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs of all time? Ozzy had more hits than you would think. We'll go down some of the lists throughout the day. Some of the songs will be like, whoa, I forgot about that. Yeah, I love that song. Rainsburg, did you follow Ozzy at all when you were kind of? I know it's a little bit.
It's a little before my time.
A little before your time, because you're what, 30 something?
I'm 31,
right,
so
he was 76.
A little
so
before.
Yeah.
My I know a few of his songs. I like a few of his songs. I wasn't. My mom wasn't really a fan. Neither was my dad. So I didn't really get exposed to it too much growing up. So
yeah.
Look,
I know Ozzy wasn't for everybody. He wasn't for everybody. His shows were for, sometimes a certain kind of audience. But the man could entertain, and he worked hard, and he hustled. I thought Iron Man was a great song. Mama, I'm Coming Home, apropos, right, for a day like today. War Pigs, No More Tears, Close My Eyes Forever. He had some hits. But, sad news today. Ozzy Osbourne passing away at the age of 76. And we'll go in and out today with some Ozzy bumper music as we pay tribute to him today. Also, we're going to talk a little Guards with Al Pawlowski from Cleveland Guardians TV. Al will join us at 3:35 today. And we'll talk about the sudden uprising in offense. We will talk about the trade deadline and what he thinks the club will do. Now, I want to say this. So we had a little text chain going last night with myself and 3 or 4 of the folks here at the radio station. And I was listening to the game last night. I was driving around, running some errands last night, and I had the game on in the car. And I was listening to, I think this was the second and third inning, because it was Hammy. If you know or don't know, Hammy does innings 1, 2, and 3. Jim Rosenhaus does innings 4 and 5, and Hammy goes 6, 7, 8, 9. So I remember distinctly now this was the second and third inning. And Tanner Bybee get lit up like a tree in the first inning. It was 3-0. Guardians come right back. And then they just kind of pounded the Orioles into submission by the end of the night. But I was listening to Hammy and Rosie just talk during the broadcast. And they were referencing July 31st, the trade deadline is coming up. What will the team do? the rumors are going to fly around. This is the kind of year that it's been. This is what some teams have done in the past. A week or two, the trade deadline. Some organizations kind of showed their hand. Some didn't. Some kind of raised the flag. Some went for it. And I could tell in Hammy's voice. And I think I'm a pretty good judge here. In the third inning, he and Rosie were talking about what might happen as far as the Guardians' front office is concerned, how they will handle the upcoming trade deadline. And what I got out of it was, without telling us, without saying anything, this is just my opinion, Hammy was saying that the Guardians were probably going to sell. Not the team, but they were going to start trading guys away. That's just what I took out of it. Just like the tone of his voice. And, I always say, listen to what they don't say. And just the conversation with Hammy and Jim Rosenhaus. And if you were listening as well, and if you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know at 330-821-1310. He said a couple things referencing former Indians/Guardians teams at the trade deadline and how the front office decided to go in a certain direction. It sounded to me like Hammy thinks that the Guardians are not going to be in the market to go after some talent, and then they're going to try to make some deals and build for the future. That's what I took out of it last night. And I put that on the text chain. That's what I took from it. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from listening to the broadcast last night. Now, they win last night. They scored 10 runs. The conversation during the broadcast on the radio tonight might be completely different. You know how things change in 24 hours. But that's what I felt last night. So we'll get into that as well. But Al Pawlowski, Cleveland Guardians TV, will join us today at 3:35. All right, Sam Bourquin Show. Poll question of the day. What is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every out-of-town visitor that comes in for Hall of Fame week? 330-821-1310. You can text and answer in 330-924-7088. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Looking to beautify your home with all the colors of the season? DeHaas Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping has 32,000 square feet of greenhouses filled with blooming and beautiful flats of annuals and perennials. So you'll find everything you can imagine and more. Their hanging baskets are overflowing with splendor, plus they have a huge selection of all your favorite hardy vegetable plants. In DeHaas Nursery, you'll find thousands of trees and shrubs on an acre and a half. And right now, the rhododendrons are blooming beautifully in lush and novel colors. The vibrant blooms of the easy-to-maintain knockout roses will knock you out. DeHaas decorative bird baths, statues, and pottery will add the perfect accent to your landscape. Just a mile south of State Street on the corner of Beach and Beechwood is a wonderland of color. That's DeHaas Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping in Alliance.
Times have changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Times gone by,
AM 1310 WDPN, it's the Sam Bourquin Show. Again, Ozzy Osbourne passed away today at the age of 76. That's one of his great hits right there. Mama, I'm Coming Home. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Hey, didn't he just do a little performance a couple of weeks ago? I think he did. I can't remember where it was. I saw some video of it this afternoon. He was up, and I think he was singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home" on stage. I know it was a couple of weeks ago. I just don't know where it was. A little bit later today, we are going to play a piece. I wrote it on the paper over there. What was it, 2000, when he was at the Wrigley Field in Chicago, singing the seventh inning stretch?
2003.
Oh my God, 2003, 22 years ago. Yeah, but he did the old "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at Wrigley Field. It was something. It will live on. Trust me. We'll play that for you this afternoon here on the Sam Bourquin Show as we kind of tribute the late Ozzy Osbourne. We got the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. We've got Guardians Talk. Al Pawlowski will join us at 3:35, and we'll talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival coming right around the corner. But right now, coming around the corner is Jeff Mears, and it's news and it's weather. Get you all caught up here on your Tuesday, AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 3:30. Ozzy Osbourne, one of the most beloved and iconic heavy metal singers on the planet, has died at age 76. More on his life from ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy Osbourne was 19 when he co-founded Black Sabbath. The band helped define the metal genre thanks in part to Osbourne's vocals on classic tunes including Iron Man and Paranoid. His wild behavior, sometimes fueled by drink and drugs, earned him the nickname the Prince of Darkness and the Metal Madman. Fired from Black Sabbath after a decade with the group, he went on to an even more successful solo career managed by wife Sharon. In the early 2000s, they found a whole new audience with the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes. A member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Ozzy Osbourne also had one Grammy. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
In 2020, Osbourne revealed he had Parkinson's disease. The House is leaving Washington early as Republicans clash over the Jeffrey Epstein files. House Speaker Mike Johnson is rebuffing pressure to act on the investigation into Epstein as some members of the GOP pushed for a vote on the matter. Johnson said this morning that he wants to give the White House space to release the Epstein information on its own. The Speaker's stance seemed unlikely to satisfy many Republicans who are threatening to support a bipartisan bill to pry information from the Justice Department. Even before Johnson spoke, a Republican-controlled committee was advancing a resolution to subpoena Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Meanwhile, the Justice Department says it wants to interview Maxwell, who was convicted of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls and is in prison. President Trump met with the president of the Philippines today and said on social media that imports coming into the U.S. from the Philippines will be set at a 19% tariff rate. U.S. imports into the Philippines will have no tariffs. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president also was taking some questions on trade issues and the specific relationship between the United States and the Philippines, and did say that he wanted to try to strike a trade deal, which is notable because the president has been indicating for weeks that once he had sent these letters out to countries, that was going to be the deal. The Philippines got one. They were told their tariff rate on August 1st would be 20%, but now he's indicating there potentially could be some room for negotiations.
Hunter Biden has criticized prominent Democrats and party advisors in a recent interview. In a podcast published Monday, he expressed frustration over George Clooney's call for President Biden to drop out of the 2024 race. Hunter Biden questioned Clooney's authority to undermine his father, who later departed the race after a poor debate performance. He also accused longtime Democratic strategists of profiting from the party without helping its current efforts. As for the June 2024 debate, Hunter Biden said his father had taken the sleep aid Ambien and was still affected by it. It's 79 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for nothing but sunshine with a high near 82 degrees. Mostly clear overnight. Some patchy fog late, a low around 58 degrees. Patchy fog hanging around Wednesday morning, otherwise sunshine with a high of 88. Thursday, sunshine, a high of 92. Showers and thunderstorms likely Friday afternoon, otherwise partly sunny, a high of 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Ritchie, and I'm your 2024 Carnation Festival second attendant. There are many community activities to enjoy during a full week of fun and friendship as Alliance celebrates the Carnation Festival. Rodman Library will have a used book sale at the Commons, which will start on Saturday, August 2nd, for members only, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It will be open to the public beginning on Sunday, August 3rd, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then it will also be on Monday, August 4th, Tuesday, August 5th, and Wednesday, August 6th, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can pay by donation all day. Please support our library not only during Carnation Week, but all year long.
Ozzy Osbourne passing away today at the age of 76. We're going to play a lot of Ozzy today as we come in and out of breaks here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Don't forget you can always watch and listen on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, the WDPN page on X, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Man, between Ozzy and, of course, Black Sabbath, lots of hits. Lots of great hits out there. Expected to catch up with Al Pawlowski from Cleveland Guardians TV coming up here very, very soon. How about the Guards last night? 10 runs against Baltimore. Now, I know Baltimore's not the second coming of the, 88 Dodgers. I know that. But, we put 10 on the board last night, and that's a good sign. Let me put it to you this way. It's never a bad sign when a team comes out and goes double digits on a scoreboard. That is never a bad thing. And they got behind the 8 ball last night a little bit. Tanner was kind of struggling, and then pow, 3 in the bottom of the first. 1-1-1, 5-6-7, boom, a 4 spot in the 7th, and it was 90-night. Guards win 10-5. Hey, they're still hanging around. Let's bring in Al Pawlowski, Cleveland Guardians TV, pregame, postgame, got the call games over the weekend. I love when you get excited, Al, man. You were channeling your inner Cleveland State basketball over the weekend. That was cool stuff. I'm telling you, he's fired up. I love it when you get excited. How you doing, partner?
Hey, good, Sam. Great to talk to you. And it's fun when this team scores a lot of runs. It's a lot better than it was a couple of weeks ago when they were struggling to score.
I'll tell you what, I've deemed this club expect the unexpected. And last night they go out and they get behind 3-0, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And then, nothing phases them. They just come out, they tie the game. They go on to score 10 on 14 hits. And Al, I think they still left a small village on the field, on the base paths last night. We had some guys here in the office said they could have scored 20 maybe last night if they got some hits. When this I think there's a stat out there, you probably know better than I, when they score 4 runs, their record is absolutely impeccable. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And we were talking last night too on the pregame show, and then with the win last night when they scored 5 or more, and now they're averaging in this last 11 game stretch, they're averaging over 6 runs per game. So if they score 5 or more, they're 31-6. So yeah, I mean that's the key with this club, because the pitching's going to be there. It has been for well over a decade now. They've been getting consistent pitching, whether it's starting or relieving. So that's there. The questions when they have down years really most of the time come down to the offense more than anything. And you're right. They left 15 guys on base, and still scored 10 runs, which is crazy. It goes to show that the offense must be doing pretty well, because if you leave 15 on base and still find a way to score 10, the things are going your way. And so I think that's more than a small village. That's almost the size of Canton.
Yes, it is. Al Pawlowski is our guest, joining us from Cleveland Guardians TV. The Guards and Orioles coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the rare 4-game series, but we'll see if we can get a few more before the end of the series is over. So, very sneakily, Al, and I know it's, but they've trimmed it down to 10 in the division. And I know that's a big ask, and, we're more focused on the wild card, but the fact that they've chopped 5.5 or 6 off of that, now we're 3.5 out of the third wild card. Only got to jump over a couple of teams as of today. And I know it's fluid and things will change every couple of days. But the fact that this team just keeps working, they keep bringing their lunch pail. And I think Stephen Vogt, more than any manager I can think of lately, keeps these guys on such an even keel that it's like they're numb. They're numb to losses and they're numb to wins almost.
Yeah, in a way, you're right. And last night, now you could just tell the feeling is back that no matter what the score is, they can go out there and score more. So even if they're down 3-0 early, not a big deal. Where it felt like anytime they went down on that 10-game losing streak, you felt like it was over.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's the opposite feeling. So you go down early, and it's back to the way the offense is going right now, we're probably going to be able to score some runs. And you mentioned Stephen Vogt's even keel, and that's been important because this group is one that has some talent. Obviously at the top, Juan Ramirez, that's about as good as it gets. Angel Martinez now, with the way that he's coming on, fits really nicely between those two. So now you've got a top 3 that's hot. And now the bottom part of your order is starting to heat up too. Nolan Jones over the last 12 games or so, I think, is batting near 300. Bo Naylor last night looks like he's starting to find his swing once again. Brian Rocchio, since the recall, has been hitting the ball very well. He's batting something like 360, I want to say, since he came back up, maybe 380. I don't have him right in front of me, but it's those sorts of numbers. And that's going to now make the difference because you knew the top part, they've always been there. Even in the tough times, Juan and Ramirez were always getting their hits. But now the lower portion of the order is starting to contribute. And you mentioned the 10 games back, and yeah, that's a big ask to catch Detroit, even though this month they look incredibly average or slightly below. So some of their cracks are starting to show, but because it's a 10-game lead at this point of the season, it's tough to make that up. That being said, the wild card, they're within 4 games of a spot. There's a lot more teams, so 4 games is, more like 7 or 8 in a divisional race. Mm-hmm. So it's easier to catch one team than it is several. But yeah, they're right there, and they got a soft part of the schedule now. Baltimore is not playing well. Kansas City is not playing well. They struggle at home especially. They're a little better now than they were a month ago, but they're still not great. The Rockies are perhaps worse than the White Sox were last year. So you've got a chance right now to really win some games. They've won 9 of 11. It's hard to win every night in Major League Baseball, especially when you get a pitcher even on a bad team that feels it and finds his rhythm. It's tough to do. But if, let's say, they can win 5 of their next 7, let's see where everybody else is now. Maybe you're within 2 games of a wild card spot. Now you're right there with the trade deadline looming.
And there will be a couple trade deadline questions coming your way, Al. Just giving you a couple of minutes to think about it. I want to ask you about. I got 2 guys on the in the rotation right now that I'm just like, wow, I can't wait to watch them go out and throw every night now. Gavin Williams and Slade Ciccone. To me, I know we used to refer to Oral Hershiser as the Bulldog back in the day. Slade Ciccone, man, I'll get in a bunker with him any night.
Yeah, he competes, and it was nice that they got him a nice cushion on Friday so he could go out there and try to go the full 9. He got a little bit. The outfield let him down defensively. To be fair, a couple of balls were hit out there, should have been caught. He probably should have had the complete game, but when you score runs, you give a guy like that an opportunity. And man, he doesn't ever want to come out.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to stay out there as long as possible. That's a great attitude to have. Gavin Williams, I've loved his stuff for so long. When he commands everything, or let's say 4 out of his 5 pitches that he throws, when he commands those, man, he's tough to hit because he's got a lot of movement on those pitches. And then he's got a fastball. He's got a 4-seamer that can get up to 96, 97 miles per hour. So if you've got 3 or 4 off-speed pitches that are working, that are moving, that he's commanding, And then you start looking for one of those, and you throw a 96 or 97 on the plate. There's no way they're going to catch up to it, just because you're looking for something in the low 80s, and then he hits you with something in the mid to upper 90s. It's awfully tough to even foul tip that. That's what makes him so tough. He's got multiple pitches. They're all plus pitches. Can he command those? But yeah, those two guys are, they're playing a big part right now in what Cleveland is doing.
And just to piggyback off what you were saying about Gavin, I think it was the other night, Al, that they were, all the numbers in the charts that they keep. And I think they just broke it down and they said, okay, between the 4 and 5 pitches that he has that particular night, each pitch got about 25% of the repertoire. So like Al, he was throwing everything in his arsenal for strikes and keeping guys off balance. And I know that that's not going to happen every night, but when you can start getting into that kind of level, you're going to be dangerous.
Absolutely. And when you at the major league level, if you've got 3+ pitches you can command as a starter consistently, you're tough to deal with, because you've got the hitter thinking multiple things. So if the hitter sees, okay, he's throwing his fastball, his curveball, his changeup for strikes, and not just for strikes, but he's locating them in a spot that I don't want to swing the bat. It could be down at the knees, it could be on the corners. Maybe some guys that have a little bit of a golf swing, they're locating, up around the letters, wherever that might be, but they're locating. If you've got 4 or 5, like you said, Sam, now you've really got the hitters in a pickle. I mean, look at some of the strikeout totals that he had. He struck a couple guys out. He struck out Rooker 3 times. He struck out the leadoff hitter 3 times for the A's. I mean, those guys had no chance against him. They were sitting on one thing, he threw another, and it was, it's fun to see if you're a Guardians fan to watch him flail away. Now, if you're an A's fan, you're sitting there going, oh boy, this guy's not getting anywhere close. But it's fun when you can watch a pitcher command like Gavin Williams was, and on the days that he does, he's as good as anybody in baseball.
Al Pawlowski is our guest, Cleveland Guardians TV. Check him on post-game, on pre-game. Al swings into the play-by-play booth once in a while when Maddie's off. Does a great job, and happy to have him here on the Sam Bourquin Show today, 1310 WDPN. Tonight, Brandon Young and Joey Cantillo, the pitching matchup. And Al, Joey Cantillo has been one of those guys. He's like the utility pitcher, so to speak. You need him to cover the back end of a doubleheader, fill in for a rain delay. He's there. He usually can eat a few innings for you. What have you seen out of him, as a whole, as he's tried to come along here in the organization?
Finally taking advantage of an opportunity, and that's so much of it at this level, is getting an opportunity and then excelling with it. So we've seen Cantillo, as you mentioned, in plenty of different roles. Always liked his arm, always liked his stuff. His fastball is almost never straight, which is what you want. There's always some sort of movement on it. Now with Ortiz down for who knows how long, he's first up to get that chance to fill that rotational spot, and he's taking advantage. Tonight he's probably going to have a little bit more rope. That pitch count's going to be a little bit higher, assuming, he's pitching well. Obviously, if he runs into trouble, he's not going to be throwing 85 or 90 pitches. But, if he's going well, I think that's the number you're going to see him at tonight, somewhere around 85, 90 pitches. And if he continues to go like he has been, he's going to keep building. He's going to be that lefty that Cleveland has been looking for in the rotation. Logan Allen's done a nice job this year. He's definitely improved. But Joey Cantillo, I think, has got a little bit more wicked stuff, where Logan's going to be your control guy. And if he's got good control of his pitches and command as well, but control, that's where he's dangerous. Cantillo has got some nasty movement on some pitches. And when he can, like any pitcher, locate, command, control, I get it. But just having that sort of arsenal, it's a different look. The ball spins differently. It's not a typical spin that a lot of hitters see. That's what can set Joey Cantillo apart. So I'm anxious to see him tonight and see if he can continue to build on the consistency that he's showing in these last couple of starts.
All right, one more before we get to the trade deadline talk. Al, what do we know about Gabriel Arias and Lane Thomas as far as getting them back? What's the situation with those guys?
Arias is on a rehab assignment. They're hoping to get him back sometime, if not late this week, early next. But I would say within the next 5 to 8 days is probably the window you're looking at there, assuming no setbacks.
Okay.
Lane Thomas doing baseball activities. He's a little bit further away. he probably won't be back until August. I would guess right now. And those things are both fluid, but right now, as we speak, it's 3:48 on Tuesday afternoon. That's kind of what you're looking at there.
All right, sounds good. Okay, trade deadline coming July 31st. You mentioned we are in a position now. It all depends on what the front office, what direction they want to go to. Is it going to be? Do you think their mind might be like made up at this point, what direction they want to go, or do they want to wait another week and see if we get real win streaky and some other things kind of fall our way before they would decide whether to buy, sell, or stand pat? Where do we sit now today at 3:40 in the afternoon?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think they're still determining. I know that they've gone over a bunch of different scenarios. They've gone over one where it's straight sell. They have another one where it's straight buy. They have one that's in between the two, and then some other ones that are hybrids. Right now, I mean, I think we could see a hybrid, and what I mean by that is you could make a trade of a guy that could certainly help you down the stretch, but you would get so much back in return of what you need. You make that trade anyway.
Okay.
An example would be Emmanuel Clase. They don't want to trade him. They want him to continue in the back of this bullpen. But if somebody comes and overpays, and look, the Dodgers just had. It looks like Tanner's going on the disabled list again, injured list again for the Dodgers. They've already got, Evan Phillips has been hurt. Blake Trinan's been hurt. The Dodgers bullpen has been in a lot of trouble. They could certainly use a guy like Emmanuel Clase, and they've got a lot of talent over there. So, and this is just an example, just to get a feel for what I'm talking about. If the Dodgers, let's say, okay, we're going to give you Andy Pages, Dalton Rushing, and a prospect that you like for Emmanuel Clase. In that scenario, it's going to be awfully tough not to make that trade if you're Cleveland, because you're filling multiple needs. You're getting back very talented players that are also young. I think that's what it would take to trade a Clase. Now, if you're straight sellers, you're looking at everybody that's got 1 year left on their contract. This is their last year of the contract. They're going to try to move everybody in that scenario. If you're buyers, you might still move one of them to create a roster spot. But if you're buyers now, you're looking at that minor league system where they've had some guys with some good years at all levels that I know are of interest to other clubs. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I do think this next week, because you're playing teams you should beat, right? You have to beat now to get back into it. So if you can beat them, I think they're going to get some additions here at the deadline. But if you lose some of these, now you're going to look more at, let's make it a quick rebuild, as quick as next year, because they still have a lot of young talent here. They still have Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan at their prime, so you can get right back in this thing as quickly as next year.
Al, if they would go the route of buy or acquire or trade or what have you to add, would Josh Naylor be on their list at all, do you think?
I think they would take a look at that, depending on, what's the asking price there. Now, remember, Josh is a free agent after this year, too, so it would have to be low. I don't see them trading a blue chip for him, but let's say Arizona's like, you know what, here's a guy we kind of like. Maybe we like him a little bit more than you. You've got depth here. Let's say it's a bullpen arm in the minors that Arizona's really high on. All right, something like that I could see happening, because Cleveland has a lot of depth with bullpen arms, or even guys that are starters now in the minors that long-term they project is probably bullpen arms. So something like that. And that's why Emmanuel Clase could be available too, because you could trade him. You could get those guys that you need right now in the lineup. And now Kate Smith's your closer. Hopefully you have Trevor Stephan back. We'll see how that goes. But, Hunter Gaddis has been very good. Eric Sabrowski is now back, and he's helping you out. You've got some other guys that have been good out of the pen this year. So that's where their depth is. Could Arizona see a young pitcher that they could see in their bullpen soon, maybe as soon as next year, and say, you know what, we'll take this guy. We'll give you Naylor for the stretch run. Sure, it's possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's certainly possible.
Al Pawlowski is our guest, Cleveland Guardians TV. Good to have him here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Is there could there be any crazy surprise scenario, Al, as far as a guy that we would make available, or that somebody that we would really try and go after? I listen to all the comments and I read all the stuff, and I've always had this philosophy of, listen to what they don't say. Listen to what they're not talking about. Anything out there pie in the sky that could happen?
Sure. I mean, that's always the case too. Now,
a lot of these sources, they get them from agents.
Right.
Maybe from a few scouts, that might talk as well. Rarely are you getting them from the actual GM or who's ever negotiating the trades, let's say. Rarely. Now, you might have a GM that's close to somebody that's a scribe and wants to throw him a bone or wants something out there. Could that happen? Of course. And that happens at all levels, whether it's NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, whatever. But are there maybe some backdoor conversations where the agents or the players don't even know they're being talked about? Absolutely. There's some GMs that are friendlier than others that are going to have conversations where they are going to keep it between themselves. And now that's not everybody. I mean, there's even some GMs sometimes that they figured out, or assistant GMs that have perhaps spoken to people they should not have been speaking about to, and then things get out. But there's definitely some conversations that are going on that I have no idea what they are. Nobody does, except for a couple of guys that are maybe a little friendlier than others, and they're just keeping it just between those themselves until they get really close, and then you start to involve the assistants, and now word might come out, but that might not be until it's right about to happen. So, yes, a surprise. It always seems there's some surprises at the deadline. I think there's going to be surprises this year as well, just because of how I know how sometimes things work behind the scenes.
That's what makes it so much fun. Al, before we let you go, were you an Ozzy Osbourne fan at all growing up?
Not so much. I never really got into his music. I like more some of his later stuff. Mama, I'm Coming Home. I thought that was a fantastic, release by him. That's been early 90s. It's probably been 30 years now, if not longer. But no, I heard he passed away. It's very sad. I'm glad that he did get that chance about a month or so ago to get back with his band. And have that opportunity, to do it one last time before it was all said and done. And I think that's probably what he was feeling, which is why he got a chance. He wanted to get out there and make a little bit of a comeback, even though it was brief.
Yeah, no doubt. Al, we always appreciate you taking the time, and hey, good luck tonight, and let's see if we can make a run and make this trade deadline date really, really interesting. Always thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
You got it, Sam, anytime.
There he goes. Al Pawlowski, Cleveland Guardians TV, pregame, postgame, and even fills in, does a little play-by-play when Matt Underwood is taking some time off. All right. Could be some big stuff brewing behind the old curtain. We just don't know what it is. That's what makes it fun. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
"Ugh, come on.
Seriously? This is so extra."
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Get someone who can actually help. Contact State Farm agent Rich Plack today.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I want to thank Al Pawlowski from Cleveland Guardians TV for joining us. Got to spend about 15, 16 minutes with Al. Appreciate him taking some time out of his schedule. Guardians and the Orioles tonight, game 2 of that 4-game series at Progressive Field. Good guys, a 10-5 win last night. I'll tell you what, tonight's game is shaping up to be, I think you could see another 10-5 game tonight. or something like that. I know the boys in Vegas have the over-under at 8.5. I was a little surprised to see that number. But what I'm basing this off is, Brian Young, his ERA is 7.32 for Baltimore. Joey Cantillo's ERA is 4.17. Now, do the math there. That's almost 12 runs there. So I would not be surprised if there was another high-scoring game tonight. But we'll see. Weather's going to be beautiful. Ball should carry good tonight at the ballpark. So we'll see what happens. Boy, last night, man, there was a lot of runs scored in the ball games last night. Nationals beat the Reds 10-8. You had a Mets win over the Angels 7-5. The Braves won 9-5. White Sox. What has gotten into the White Sox? They beat the Rays last night 8-3. You had the Royals beat the Cubs 12-4. You had a lot of runs last night in Major League Baseball. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest stories, and I know we got to get to break here coming up. How about the Toronto Blue Jays? This team is playing out of its mind right now. They are 59-41. I think they've won like 11 or 12 games in a row at home. They've won 4 in a row overall, period. And they're like leaving the Yankees and the Red Sox in the dust in the American League East. I'll tell you what, a lot of people say a lot of things about the Mark Shapiro, their GM, who used to be the GM of the Indians/Guardians. But the Toronto Blue Jays, man, they got it going on. So keep your eyes on them. All right, news and weather coming up here in just a couple of seconds. We are 1 hour in, the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. As calls mount for the Justice Department to release all the Jeffrey Epstein files, a House panel now approved a motion for the GOP chair to subpoena Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. Now the DOJ is also pushing to talk with Maxwell.
It's a stunning announcement from the number 2 in the Justice Department, who previously served as Donald Trump's defense attorney. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche now says he hopes to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell to see if she believes anyone else should be prosecuted. Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, and she's the only person other than him to ever be charged with sex trafficking. In a statement earlier this month, the DOJ and FBI said they'd seen no evidence implicating anyone else.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Severe heat impacting millions across the U.S. this week with dangerous temperatures and humidity in the Midwest and South. Black Sabbath frontman Ozzy Osbourne has died. His family says the British rocker passed away surrounded by love. Ozzy Osbourne was 76. This is ABC News.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July Summer Sale and get 30% off paints and stains July 18th through the 28th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Macy's has summer deals so big, it's like Black Friday in July. Come in for unbeatable summer savings, like dazzling fine jewelry, now 40 to 75% off, and airy linen blazers from Tommy Hilfiger and more for over half off. Plus, get 3-piece floral print comforter sets for just $21.99. These deals are too big to wait for November, so hurry in. Black Friday in July starts Wednesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. 2 mosquitoes trapped in Canton have tested positive for West Nile virus. The Canton City Health Department says the Ohio Department of Health confirmed the results. This brings the total of West Nile virus positive mosquitoes to 10. The 2 mosquitoes were collected June 30th on Troyer Avenue Southwest and at Barr Elementary School. Mosquito spraying will resume July 28th and continue throughout various parts of the city through August 6th. Health Department staff continue to identify and remove areas of stagnant water and larvicide, which is the primary method of mosquito abatement. The City of Alliance will be hosting home to the first Safe Haven baby box in Stark County. During Monday's council meeting, Fire Chief Jason Hunt said the security system for the device will be installed at the fire station Friday. The box will be dedicated in the near future. When used, the device will contact dispatchers who will notify a hospital. Councilwoman Jennifer Kiko says the Safe Haven organization works with Ohio Right to Life to collect donations for the boxes. Ohio's Safe Haven law allows a parent to leave a newborn child with a police officer, firefighter, or hospital employee within 30 days of birth without fear of prosecution for abandonment. A mother surrendered her day-old son to an Alliance firefighter in January 2024. A man who allegedly shot an Altman hospital employee has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. 35-year-old James Fair of Canton was indicted earlier this month on charges of aggravated robbery and 2 counts of felonious assault. Police say he was mentally distressed after being admitted June 27th. Fair was being held in a private room for observation when he later began hitting his head on the glass walls. Fair reportedly struggled with officers, grabbing a gun from one and firing several shots. A patient care technician was wounded. Fair is being held on $1 million bond. His defense attorney told Stark County Common Pleas Judge Frank Forcioni Fair is not able to participate in his defense. One person was injured in a Canton fire. Firefighters were called to an apartment building in the 800 block of 5th Street Northwest just before 2:30 this morning. A resident of a third-floor unit was taken to Altman Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Flames were contained to the room of origin, and residents of unaffected units were able to return. Damage to the building and contents is valued at $7,000. The cause is under investigation. Louisville City Council Monday agreed to sell the former post office building. WDPN's David Schur reports.
Located at 504 East Main, the building last served as home of the Friends of the Library and other library uses, and was owned by the Louisville Public Library. CNS Industries of Louisville was identified by the Community Improvement Corporation as the buyer at $105,000. Council also passed final reading of the charter issue for the November 4 ballot and a 5-year contract to place fiber optic service within the municipal buildings with Spectrum, and learned that the income tax revenue continues to be up by 5.1% over 2024.
There's a new administrator for Perry Township. Geraldine Cotter was named to the post last week by trustees. She replaces Joyce Martin, who retired in May. Cotter is a Kentucky native and grew up in Long Island, New York. She is a graduate of West Virginia University and Loyola University in New Orleans. Cotter was a Genoa Township trustee in Delaware County from 2006 to 2009 and served as a member of the Westerville School Board from 2016 to 2019. She most recently spent 14 years as a project manager for the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. Cotter's first day in her new job was July 16th. Norfolk Southern is the subject of another wrongful death lawsuit resulting from the February 2023 train derailment in East Palestine. A separate lawsuit alleging 7 deaths related to the incident is pending in Franklin County. The new suit was filed in Youngstown Federal Court by the estate of Cheryl Roush. It seeks at least $250,000 in damages. The suit alleges chemicals were released into the air and directly into Roush's home, causing injuries which led to her death from respiratory issues in July 2023. It also accuses Norfolk Southern of knowing employees on the train were not prepared at the time of the derailment. The suit claims the railroad didn't notify federal authorities about the incident until 2 hours after it occurred. An East Liverpool man charged with a fatal shooting in the city remains jailed on $1 million bond. 33-year-old Daniel Whitley pleaded not guilty Monday to charges of aggravated murder, tampering with evidence, and 2 gun specifications. A final status conference hearing is scheduled for September 22nd in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. A jury trial is set for October 14th. Whitley is accused of fatally shooting 58-year-old James Powell of East Liverpool May 15th. The incident at Utah and Montrose Streets is believed to have stemmed from a dispute over a woman. Whitley was arrested after he was found hiding under a nearby porch. Youngstown police are investigating a Monday night burglary on the city's south side. Residents of a West Philadelphia Avenue apartment reported the incident around 7:30. 4 people wearing black clothing and ski masks kicked in the front door and went upstairs. One intruder pulled a gun and struck a man in the head. They also asked in Spanish where money was being hidden. The assailants reportedly had pistols or tasers. They searched a bedroom and took cash from a wallet, credit cards, an ID, phone, passport, and a tablet before fleeing in a car. A resident told police one of the suspects could be her ex-husband. The man who was assaulted did not report any injuries. It's 79 degrees and Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon, a high expected around 82 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear with some patchy fog moving in late, a low 58. Wednesday, patchy fog early, otherwise sunshine with a high near 88. Thursday, more sun, a high of 92. Friday, afternoon showers and thunderstorms are likely. Partly sunny, otherwise a high near 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
To give them a chance to rally. Now Kyle Manzardo clobbers into deep right field. Gone! And the Guardians go ahead 6-5. The 2-2. Juan coming in. Going out Jose. Bucket! Ramirez hangs on to finish the game. Superman hitting the ball in the air to center field. The starting pitcher hits a monster home run. He is out of this world.
That catcher's interference? That's a good question.
The call on the field is overturned. There is catcher's interference.
Wow! The Phillies have won on a catcher's interference. Let's tag your bags. Baseball is amazing.
And this is hooked to left field, and it's into the corner. Springer is in to score. Guerrero is getting the wave. And he'll come into a two-run double for Bichette to give the Blue Jays the lead.
And Soto has ground ball up the middle, base hit. Acuña's in. Here comes Lindor. The game is tied.
All right, good night for the Guardians last night. Good night for some other teams as we roll along the baseball season and we kind of roll you into football. Welcome back into the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. We welcome you in. Hope your Tuesday is going well. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Sunshine, blue skies, low humidity, just a little bit of a breeze. Man, you can't ask for a better day here in late July. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. Text line is open as well. Don't forget 330-924-7088. You can watch us and listen to us on the 1310 WDPN radio station, which we got you here too. We also got you on the WDPN Facebook page and X page and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. You can always drop some comments in all of our comment sections. Let us know what you're up to, how you're doing. And, of course, like, share, and follow 1310 WDPN. And give Q92 Sports a little love as well. Okay, thanks to Al Pawlowski from the Guardians for joining us in the 3 o'clock hour. 10-5 last night. Guards over the Orioles, game 2 tonight. Joey Cantillo on the bump for Cleveland. First pitch at 6:40. As the good guys look to get the first 2 of the 4-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. Cleveland Browns training camp open. The fellas were filing in Berea earlier today. And they'll really get rocking and rolling tomorrow. They'll be out on the field. They'll have some of their gear on, and they'll get ready to go. July 31st, Chargers and the Lions in Canton, the Hall of Fame game. It's like 11 days from now. It'll be here before you know it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The overlapping of sports, championship games, and then boom into the next season. That season gets to a point, and then boom, the next sport to follow in that season is upon us. And here we go. Here we go. We are off and running. Now, I had mentioned at the beginning of the show, I wasn't quite sure, what the Browns' end game is. And when I say end game, I'm going to say for the next 2 years. I personally think that this team is probably setting itself up, whether they're trying to do it on purpose or not, to be a really bad team this year. And I'm talking 3-14 bad. Maybe 4-13. I got the Browns between 3 and 4 wins. Remember, they've got not one but two first-round draft picks next year. And with the way that they drafted this year, and I said it the day after the draft, look at the way they drafted, whom they drafted, when they drafted them. Look at some of the other moves that they made or did not make during the offseason. This team, in my opinion, is just going to kind of go through the motions here this year. And I'm pretty sure that Uncle Jimmy and Aunt Dee have a plan. And they've had plans in the past that have stunk. There's been years I don't think they had any plan at all. But I think they are banking on a guy by the name of Manning to come out next year in the draft. And I think they want him really bad. And I'm okay with that too. I would probably go the same route because there's nobody on this roster now that is going to lead this team into the next 5 to 7 years. Joe Flacco he's old. Love Joe. Had a lot of fun with him a couple years ago. He's back. You're not getting that Joe Flacco, and you're certainly not getting the Joe Flacco from 5, 8, 10 years ago. You got Kenny Pickett, who probably is a journeyman-type quarterback at best. Didn't work out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They really liked him. They scouted him to death. They watched his every move. Remember, the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers share the same facilities just about. They knew everything there was to know about Kenny Pickett. Didn't work out. They drafted Dylan Gabriel, who, did you see the photo that was going around yesterday of a lot of most of the team was in a huddle, like a circular huddle. And then there was the 4 quarterbacks kind of standing behind them. And there was Gabriel, Pickett, Flacco, and Shador. Did you see how short Dylan Gabriel is? If he didn't look 5'8.5", 5'9" in that photo. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And look, I know that the Shador hype train is off and rolling. It'll be out of control starting tomorrow when a lot of the national media descend upon Berea for Browns training camp and looking for the angle, looking for the video, looking for the story, looking for the quotes, all that stuff. But there's the quarterback on this. There is not a quarterback on this team, in my opinion, that is going to be on this, even be on this roster, probably after another 4 or 5 years. Actually, one of them is probably going to get let go of this year at the end of camp. Not going to keep 4 guys. I think this is all kind of setting up for the Browns to be in an opportunity, to be in the situation, to have the opportunity to go after Arch Manning and hook everything up to him. Don't forget now, you're going to be playing indoors beginning in 2029. So let's say you draft Manning next year. which would be 26. Maybe let him play a little bit. Watch him maybe sit. Watch him learn. 27, get him out there. Get him a full year. 28, get him out there. Get him a full year. And then when you move indoors in 2029, now you make your move. This is a long-term thing. And I know Browns fans every year, they think they're going to get to the Holy Grail. And they come up with every excuse and every opportunity and everything they can think of to point to why this is the year that they're going to be right. And everybody else is going to be wrong. We got this guy. We got that guy. Did you see him in training camp? Oh, the rookie was showing his moves. We got this guy. He's under the radar. Nobody knows about him. He's going to have a breakout year. If. Every year I hear the same stuff. I can't help but laugh because I love the passion. I love the sincerity. I love the willingness for you to tell me that this is going to be the year that the team turns it around. There are Browns fans out there right now. There are Browns fans out there listening, watching, commenting, texting. And you know what's at the top of their mind? They're going to the Super Bowl. That's how they think. That's how they thought for years. And I'm not saying don't ever have grand aspirations of where you want your team to go. But come on. Sometimes you gotta pull those orange and brown glasses off and look around and see what you got around you. And this team is going to be bad. But we know this going in. They're going to be a 3 or 4 win football team. They might be a 3 or 4 win football team the year after too. And now, for the love of God, if you can start to draft the right way, Andrew, now you're stockpiling number 1s, number 2s, number 3s. You're out of that Deshaun Watson crap. These picks are all yours. They're going to belong to you. And if you make sound picks that coincide with the plan moving forward by late 28 into the 29 kickoff, that you can honestly look in the mirror and say, okay, this plan is in place. It's been in place for a couple of years. And now we're going to go full steam ahead. You have to look at this as a long-term thing. You have to. There's no other way to look at it. You're a 4-win team this year. You're probably a 4 or 5-win team next year. That's just the way it is. Now, you know how they like to tell you in the National Football League that this league is made for teams to go from worst to first and take a fan base from the pits of hell to the gates of heaven. That's what they sell you on. And some years you see it. Some years you don't. Some years you're in between. But anybody that has any sense, football common sense, people that can evaluate talent, they can look at a team, they can look at the coaching, they can look at the front office, they can look at the way they do things, have done things, that are planning on doing things. This is a long-term play. This is a long-term play. Sometimes you got to take her down to the studs. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I don't buy into the nonsense of, oh, we could turn it around quick. You know, a couple of additions and, you know, Shador gets hot and, you know, we get this guy and, you know, the Steelers and the Ravens and the Bengals all fall apart and this could be it. Woof, woof, woof. No, not happening. Not happening. This is a long-term play. I'm okay with it. Got to have a plan. You got to stick to the plan. And it all starts with what? QB. That guy could be available next year if he comes out. Before we get to the phones, I want to tell you about article from Yahoo Sports. The Browns are one of 3 teams favored in only 1 game this season. And right now they have the NFL's lowest win total of just 4.5 at BetMGM. That's the team's lowest win total since 2017, when the Cleveland Browns didn't win a game. Let that sink in a little bit. Let the reality sink in. Let's go to the phones. AM 1310 WDPN. You're on the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Sam. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, did you get my text message about Maslin the other day?
Was it a text message or was it an instant message?
I think it was on Messenger.
Messenger. All right. Hold on here. Let me see if I can pull this up while we're on the air. Okay. Was this from Saturday? The last thing I have from you, Henry, is Saturday at 5:48 p.m.
That's what it should be.
Okay. Is it like a video? Or no?
No, it was supposed to be pictures of the lot at Maslin.
Okay.
Basically, if you look at it,
you're going to have to explain that to me because what I'm watching right now is an old video of Greg Maddux for the Atlanta Braves. So go ahead and tell me what you sent me.
Okay. Basically, if you remember all the parking area east side of Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
Right, which is all gone now because of the new school.
85% of that, which is, and I figured it out the other day, that almost 3,400 parking spots have disappeared.
Yes.
And now, my question is, where's all that going to go to now?
Well, I know that beginning the year, it might have been last year. What was the year they opened up with Valdosta? Was that 2 years ago?
Yes.
I think. And that's when they first started shutting that side down as far as parking was concerned to get the groundwork ready to put the shovel in the ground and do everything. And they started running, like shuttle buses from restaurants, from plazas. They were giving people golf cart rides from if you parked real far away on the street. Honestly, it's going to be kind of a disaster for parking now. I believe that school. It's completely finished, correct?
No,
it's not. Oh, it's not even. So there's still a mess over there.
It's still a mess.
Okay.
But here's the interesting part: they have to be in here in 30 days because they've closed every other school down.
Okay.
Gutted.
So yeah, as far as Maslin parking, I mean, yeah, they're going to have to do. They're probably going to stress group riding, carpooling, taking some kind of transportation. I know they've got parking spots on the other side behind the press box on the home side. They got a big lot over there. They got a big lot, lower lot, and they have a little bit of an upper lot. But when you lose 3,400 parking spots, that's gonna create some craziness, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, but the other thing too. I don't know if you got the other one from a while back about them going to. Of course, now they've gone to it. Now is to a 12-team format now.
Right, for the OHSAA. Mm-hmm.
And a while back, I sent you a text or an email or a thing on Messenger regarding the OHSAA going to a 12-team format and going to eliminate all neutral sites up till the regional final, which, the regional final, you would have a home site there, but then come the semifinals, they would bringing that to.
So you're saying that they won't be playing neutral site games until the state semifinals, or a regional championship?
Correct. After the regional championship is when the neutral sites would kick in.
So you could play 4 home games.
Yes.
Ugh.
Because these schools don't want to host.
Well, they started coming back a little bit last year, Henry. The schools started stepping up. I think the OHSAA floated them a little bit of a bone last year. Some of the schools started to step up and actually come back and host. So I thought that started to turn around a little bit.
It did, but still some of them are revolting.
Wow. So let's just for fun, Maslin already has 9 home games this year, okay? There's a possibility they could play 13 games at home if they have a deep playoff run. Holy cow. That's crazy to me. Crazy.
And see, here's the other thing too. When the new contract comes up for Canton, okay?
Oh, to host the championship games?
Yes.
Because that ends, after 26, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to re-up. They're going to go 2 more years. And then I think the games are going to go to Brook Park. That's what I think.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they are happy where it's at right now because basically the NFL is giving them some extra bone money to play at Benson.
Well, I wish they'd give some of that money to the Village, but that's another conversation.
Well, yeah, that's my opinion. I think it's going to be 3 years and done.
What do you mean 3? Like you think that in 3 years that everything will be finished?
Well, if this thing is not,
or it's going to be just go away.
Exactly.
Oh boy, that would not be good. That would not be good. We'll keep our eyes on that. Henry, I appreciate the call as always. I got to get to the bottom of the hour news and weather, but don't be a stranger. I appreciate all the information.
Yep.
There he goes. Henry. Always got some good stuff about the Hall of Fame. He's a little bit on the inside over there. A little bit. Sends me some nuggets every once in a while. I'd be interested to see what the OHSAA does after this contract is up with Canton to host the state championship games, because the contract is up in 26. I'll be very interested to see what happens after that. All right, news and weather coming up at the bottom of the hour. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. Hope you're enjoying. Is just an incredible day. AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The Justice Department is pushing for the release of grand jury material in the Jeffrey Epstein cases, but federal judges are responding that it's not so simple. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more.
2 New York-based federal judges say before they'll even consider releasing grand jury material from the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell cases, prosecutors will have to meet the court's requirements. The Justice Department will have to spell out a broader legal rationale for taking the extraordinary step and put forward proposed redactions to the grand jury testimony. The judges have also invited comment from victims and from Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for her role in the recruiting and trafficking of minors.
Meanwhile, the second top official at the Justice Department says he will meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. The heat will be oppressive for tens of millions of people, with more than 65 million under some sort of heat warning. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z says today it's mainly in the Midwest and South, and it all moves to the east later in the week.
Washington, D.C. starts to get the worst of it on Friday, as does New York City. So we're going to feel that heat and humidity, and if you like it, you're going to get more of it, especially if you're east of the Rockies. The only place to cool down would be California.
The United Nations Human Rights Office says more than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces since May while trying to get food in the Gaza Strip. Most of them have died in the vicinity of aid sites operated by an Israeli-backed American contractor. Local health officials said that Israeli strikes killed 25 people across Gaza today. Experts say that Gaza is at risk of famine due to Israel's blockade and ongoing offensive. A breakdown of law and order has led to widespread looting and contributed to chaos and violence around aid deliveries. Ozzy Osbourne, the frontman of Black Sabbath, who catapulted the heavy metal genre into the mainstream, has died at the age of 76. He reinvented his career over the many decades, even after he left Black Sabbath and started a solo career. Osbourne was also known for the reality show about his family, which aired on MTV in the early 2000s. More from ABC's Chris Connolly.
Creating the very genre of heavy metal with Black Sabbath, the idea of the frontman, the sound of the band, the topics it covered, and then when he went solo, continuing those successes and creating this kind of antic, hellion concept around him as a frontman, and then reinventing reality television at the turn of the century and giving MTV the kind of ratings that it never had.
It's 80 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Continuing sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon with a high around 82 degrees. Mostly clear tonight. Some patchy fog late, a low 58. Wednesday, patchy fog early, otherwise sunshine with a high near 88 degrees. For Thursday, more sun, a high of 92. Friday, showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, partly sunny, a high of 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? Come out to Copeland Oaks for our annual Classic Cruisin' on Sunday, July 27th. Gates open at 10 a.m. with registration until 1. Enjoy free food, music, and lots of fun. Join us Sunday afternoon, July 27th for the Cruisin' on the Copeland Oaks Retirement Campus, just off Route 62 near Sebring. $5 registration for classic vehicles. All proceeds benefiting a local charity. Dash plaques and trophies will be awarded for classic cars. Copeland Oaks, family fun.
Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Passed away this morning at the age of 76, surrounded by family. Boy, he could belt them out, couldn't he? He could. I know Ozzy wasn't for everybody. A little different style. But going back to the Black Sabbath days, and then when he was kind of out on his own, so to speak, had some great hits, great music. Our little tribute to Ozzy today here on the Sam Bourquin Show as we're coming in and out of breaks. Hope you enjoy it. AM 1310, WDPN. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310. You can text at 330-924-7088. I want to thank Al Pawlowski, Cleveland Guardians TV, for joining us in the 3 o'clock hour. Sam Bourquin Show poll question today. A lot of response. What is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every out-of-town visitor for Hall of Fame week? What's the one? I know it's a tough question. And for some of you, too tough, apparently, because you're giving me a whole list.
Oh, hey, before I forget, Sal texted in on this like at the beginning of the show, and I don't want to forget about him. So he texted in to say Desert Inn is his choice.
Yep, Desert Inn's getting a lot of love today.
So we appreciate Sal.
Shout out to the Shaheen family. What's the one restaurant that you would recommend to every single out-of-town guest that comes in for Hall of Fame week? What's the one restaurant you would recommend? Walter says, Danny Boys. Rocky says, definitely breakfast at the Crow's Nest. Rumor has it there might be a little breakfast situation Thursday morning at the Crow's Nest. That's what I'm hearing. I cannot confirm nor deny. Peggy says, Fizzle Sticks, Sparta, and the Desert Inn. Can't go wrong with any of those. Paula says Fromino's and Luca downtown. Cindy, hope you're well, Cindy Campbell. She says the Desert Inn. Timothy, Twisted Olive. Scott says Mallorca. Heard a lot of great things about Mallorca. I haven't been there. Jeff says Pizza Oven. Wayne says Michael D's and 91 wood-fired oven. Pat says Baker's Cafe, hands down. Haven't been there in a while either. Robin says Michael D's for breakfast, Kennedy's for lunch, and Tim's Tavern for dinner. Yes, there's a reason I'm fat. Good stuff, Robin. Tracy says Baker's and Bella Sarah. Doug says Tozzi's in Magnolia. Hey, good Italian there, man. Justin says Pete's for breakfast on West Tusk. Ed says La Loma. Kara says Twisted Citrus. Tom says Desert Inn. Eric says Baker's. Again, the poll question today, what is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every single visitor from out of town that comes here for Hall of Fame week? What's the one place you would say, hey, you have to go here? George says, that's easy, Sam. Mulligan's. I promise you'll love it. Been there many, many times. James says Sparta. Donnie says Edie's Fish House. The big guy in Barberton. John says Lucia's. Mark says Baker's. That was easy. Ron says Sam Sylvester's. Michelle Fronomo's downtown. Luann says Bender's and Table 6. Mary Jane says Lobies. Sherry says Three Brothers. Boy, they just keep coming in. Kathy says Palumbo's. Rob says Falcone's. Elaine, another one for Sparta. Keep them coming. We'll keep reading them. What's the one restaurant that you would recommend to every out-of-town visitor that's here during the Hall of Fame week? Better yet, you give us a call. Let us know. 330-821-1310 or text in at 330-924-7088. And don't forget to check us out on all of our social media platforms, 1310 WDPN on X, on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Let's go to the phones, 330-821-1310. You're on the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon.
Sammy, my radio brother,
hey,
what's going on?
Tomas from the great town of Salem, just a little bit to the east of us here in Alliance. What's on your mind today, my friend?
Well, I don't know if you heard about the Tony Petitti letter that everybody was talking about yesterday.
I read it this morning, Tom. And it has to do with they're trying to figure out this playoff situation, and there's this I don't want to say the word. There's this bleeping match going on between the Big Ten and the SEC and Mike Slive and everything, and everybody's trying to put their foot in the ground and plant their flag. So yeah, I am familiar with it, and Tony's been letting it rip, so to speak.
That's one of them. Tony Petitti sent a letter to the NCAA about a month ago, and a guy by the name of Chris Dallas, who's a big supporter of athletics, came after a month. He finally made it known to the world that Tony Petitti wanted the NCAA infractions committee to go light on the University of Michigan.
Yeah, that's right. I read that too. He said, just stop with the stuff on the University of Michigan. They've been punished. Just let it go. Yeah, right.
Let me tell you something, how politically correct this is. I'm going to take you back, Sammy, to the year 1967. Wayne Duke was the commissioner of the Big Ten. Duffy Daugherty was the head coach at Michigan State. After we turned Duffy in for illegal recruiting practices. Well, Mr. Wayne Duke at the time told the infractions committee to go lightly on Michigan State because, they're a partner of the Big Ten. So, he has to come out and look good. Let's take you up to 2010. Jim Tressel is about to lose his job. So Jim Delaney comes out and says, you should go light on Jim and let him keep his job. Do you see the theme here, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I can cite 5 or 6 more examples, but I'll let the Big Ten stuff sink in. This is another politically correct hit piece the University of Michigan and their PR are running. Let us not mistake where the blade has fallen, okay? I have read through, and I've listened to Scoop, I've read through all these documents. Sam, the only thing that they can expect is pain because everything is pointing to it, Sam. Not one program. I mean, there was a baseball program. I want to say Tennessee or Kentucky or one of those schools was this kid on the basketball team was getting the test done by girls on the softball team. So
sounds like Tennessee. Go ahead.
The softball coach got fired and a 10-year show cause just for that. Okay? So what I'm telling you is not one Arizona State a couple of years ago, they lost all their wins for 2 seasons.
That was with Herm Edwards, wasn't
it? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And all of these things that happen, there are show causes, there are vacations of wins. Why? Tell me, Sammy, why would Michigan be any different from any of these other schools? They're on the competitive committee. They've signed the NCAA charter. They've signed the competitive balance charter. Okay, so why would they be any different? Because they're Michigan and because, you know, they're one of the big partners, the big money partners? No. Because in 2010, Ohio State was the only team doing anything in the Big Ten, and look what happened to them.
Mm-hmm. It's a great point.
Nothing here, Sam. There's nothing here. The blade is going to fall by September 6th. It is coming.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's going to be fabulous.
We, and I say Ohio State fans and a lot of other people that aren't, but are just, they want to see this done and over with. My God, it's been going on for over 3 years now. Make a ruling and let's move on with our life.
Yeah, and they've done this deliberately, Sam. I will tell you that from what I know, and a couple of the people that I've known over the years that have given me advice over the years, they have told me that the University of Michigan is well hated in the NCAA. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's why this has been going on for so long. Michigan had a chance to mitigate this stuff over a year ago and to litigate it even as far back as, I believe, January. Okay? And all they did was obfuscate and not cooperate. They didn't cooperate at all, Sam. Not at all. They had to get their information from a lot of different people. The running back for Michigan that was the running backs coach in Indiana and then at Michigan. You notice that he's disappeared?
Heard
from him since he got fired last year?
Yeah.
That's because he's been banished to the netherworld. Because he was one of the people that talked.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I will tell you, Sam, I come into this game well-read. You know me. You've known me for 25 years. I am well-read. So when I tell the listening audience that the blade is coming, trust me on this, okay?
So you think by September the 6th?
The heavens fall.
Okay.
I can't wait, Sam. I can't wait. This is so long overdue. Think about it. How many people lost their jobs for that 4-year losing streak Ohio State's had with Michigan? 3 Big Ten championship possibilities. You had probably 2 national championships taken away. Ohio State was the biggest loser in all of this, okay? And Harbaugh made a statement. He says, we're going to try or die. He wasn't lying when he said that.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And that's what you got, Sam.
And here we
that's
are.
What you got. And I mean, I don't pay any attention to the pundits, Sam, about how Michigan's going to do this year, because if it comes before September 6th, I can pretty much tell you how that one's going to work.
Yeah, it won't matter. If that comes down then, right at the time when you're getting ready to tee it up, or that's when you start to go. And if you get that kind of news, you're gonna curl up and go away.
Sam, how do you feel the football team?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, Steve Alford becomes your football coach, and he was Ohio State's running backs coach. You talk about winning the Mel Tucker Award for being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, true.
Sam, it's crazy.
It's going to be something.
Away from high school football season, Sam.
I know. 39 days.
Oh, I can't wait.
39 days, Tom. We'll be rolling.
Sammy, the Raiders are going to be tough this year.
Yeah, that's what you were saying last time. Yeah. So you're still feeling good about them, huh?
Boy is playing for Warren Harding. He's 280 pounds, 6'3", and a sophomore. We had a bunch of transfers, Sam. It is going to be fun this year.
Oh, the transfer portal is alive and well on Elm Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tom, I always appreciate the phone call. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Till next week. We'll catch you later.
You got it. There he goes. So Tom says the hammer is going to officially come down on Michigan September the 6th. He says the blades have been sharpened. We'll see. I just want him to come down with the one final edict and let's move on. I cannot believe it has taken this long. Like, if I hear the name Connor Stallions one more time, I'm going to go insane. Let's go. Let's get our pound of flesh and let's move on. Holy smokes. Boy, the NCAA, they move at the speed of a tortoise. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. But we kept hearing so much stuff, especially the last 6 months. Oh, it's coming. Tomorrow, the next day, next weekend. I promise you. No, nothing. Zero. Zip. Nada. Nothing. Zilch. So now it's September 6th. So we'll see. Per my talk with Henry a couple of minutes ago on the show, Doug writes in, Sam, the high school football, the regional finals start. Oh, okay. I thought so. The regional finals start the neutral sites. Since the top 4 seeds get a first-round bye, they would only get an additional 2 home games, not 3, as the caller suggested. Okay. I keep forgetting about that stupid bye. I keep forgetting about that. So the playoff calendar would look like this. Regional first round, Friday, October 31st. Regional quarterfinals, Friday, September 7th. Regional semifinals, Friday, November 14th. Regional finals would start Friday, November 21st, and that's when they would go to the neutral sites. So you would have neutral sites, regional final, state semi, and then Canton for the OHSAA state championship games. I keep forgetting about the bye. Not a fan of the bye. Not a fan of the bye at all. I know some coaches are. Some aren't. So we're all going to have to get used to it. And now I will also tell you that when we are live at St. Harlambus Church for the Stark County High School Football Preview Show, and I believe it is August. I believe it's August the 6th. And we're going to have, let me look this up real quick. We're going to have all the coaches on. Okay, August the 6th is a Wednesday. I think that's the night that it is. I think that's the night. But we'll be there. 1310 WDPN/Q92 Sports. We'll be there. We're going to do our show live from St. Harlambus that day, and we'll get you ready for the big preview dinner that night. We're going to try to get most of the coaches on as we can to talk about their team, to talk about their league, to talk about their schedule, talk about their kids, talk about the program. Really looking forward to that. We're going to have the whole crew out there that day. Live show beginning at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN. But that's in the first week of August. So that's not that far away. Couple of weeks away. Well, we got the Hall of Fame Festival coming up. We got the Carnation Days Festival. And then we're going to roll right into high school football. So we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. I can't wait to talk to a lot of the coaches that we got to talk to a few about when the ruling was made about, the teams, the playoff teams going from 16 to 12 and then adding the bye, so it's still a 6-week postseason. We had a couple of coaches on to talk about that. But I want to talk to the rest of them about that and get their take, especially because we're going to be the night that dinner is, there's going to be games played maybe a little over 2 weeks after that. So coaches will have had a little bit of time to kind of let that whole thing sink in. But that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. 4:53 on the Sam Bourquin Show. We're going to take a break. 330-821-1310. The WDPN text line is open as well at 330-924-7088. We got our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What is the one restaurant in the area that you would recommend to every single out-of-town visitor for Hall of Fame week? Which one would it be? We'll get back into that and more after the break. 1310 WDPN.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex Ritchie and I am your 2024 Carnation Festival second attendant. Please join me on Friday, August 8th at 6 p.m. at the JC Shelter at Silver Park as Coastal Pet Products hosts the annual Carnation Pet Show. Bring your best animal friend to show off at this year's Carnation Pet Show as we celebrate the Carnation City.
Well, sad day today in the music world, entertainment world. Ozzy Osbourne passed away at the age of 76 at his home with the family by his side. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to continue to mix in some Ozzy music today on our bumper music as we come in and out of break here on the show, 1310 WDPN. We got about 4 minutes or so till we get you to the top of the hour. Jeff Mears is standing by with all the latest news. We'll have the weather. And we'll get you back here for one more big hour of the Sam Bourquin Show. Let's see here. Sheila called in, said, Sam, the Desert Inn is a place I would most recommend for every out-of-town visitor that comes in for Hall of Fame week. Sheila, thank you for listening, and thank you for calling. Let's see here. St. Harlebus Stark County High School football preview show is on August the 6th. August the 6th. All right. So that is on. That's a Wednesday. Yeah. There you go. So August the 6th will be there. Our live show beginning at 3 right here on AM 1310 WGPN. We'll have all the coaches. We'll have all the sports crew out there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure that you spend the afternoon and night with us there. From St. Harlebus Church on August the 6th. Poll question of the day. What restaurant would you recommend to every out-of-towner visiting for Hall of Fame week? I know it's a little bit of a tough question because we have so many incredible eateries. But what's the one that you would recommend to everybody that's in town? 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Let's see. The list is growing and growing. Let's see here. Taggart's. Jennifer says Baker's. Absolutely. See, I read these lists, And then you know what the first thing I want to do is when I'm done at 6 o'clock? Go eat at like every one of them. The Lord gave me no willpower as far as saying no to food and food choices. Zero. John says the Nook. The Nook. Where the Nook. Is that on off of 93? Over there close to Brewster, like 30 and 93? I swear I pass it when I take our son to the Elms for golf practice. I think that's where it is. The Nook. I'm pretty sure that's where that's at. Mike says, Sam, Bender's or the Twisted Olive? You can't beat it. Kim says, Bella's Pizzeria or Gregory's. I got to get to Bella's. Shout out to Mike and Michelle Munson. They do a great job over there. Tina says, Taggart's. The Bittner, which I can't eat. Can't have nuts. What? How can I have a Bittner with no walnuts? It's like sacrilegious. John says the Cameo Grill. Brian says Bender's. Jean. Hey, Jane, hope you're well. She says Baker's. Missy says Sparta. I got a whole list here. Sparta, Baker's, Desert Inn, Pizza Oven, all hometown favorites. Cheryl says the Desert Inn. Julie says mint and lime. I'm not familiar with that. Where or what is mint and lime? Help me out there. She also says Fiesta Acapulco. Very good. Tom says Freudies. Bo says John's Bar. Dennis says Harmon's. Chad says Harmon's. Doug says Cosmos over in Maslin. Rick says Lucia's and the Desert Inn. Lenny, the Bistro of Oakwood. Jim says Tozie's in Magnolia. Keep them coming. That's the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Which restaurant, which one would you recommend to every single out-of-town guest in town for Hall of Fame week? Let us know on all of our social media platforms. You can give us a ring like Sheila did at 330-821-1310. We'll take a break. We'll get back into the Guardians talk. The Browns rolling with camp up in Berea. And we got all this day in sports history and a whole lot more coming your way. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A House Oversight Subcommittee approved a motion for the chair to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell. She's the ex of Jeffrey Epstein and co-conspirator who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking. The Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, now says he also plans to meet with Maxwell. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
He says if Ghislaine has any information that is relevant to the DOJ or FBI, they want to hear from her. And it appears that Maxwell's attorney is open to this idea, saying today that they are in discussions with the government. He says, quote, Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. And this is a woman that a lot of people want to hear from. We heard from Epstein's former attorney over the weekend on Fox News, calling Ghislaine the Rosetta Stone of information, saying basically she knows everything. And it appears some members of Congress also want to hear from her.
The attorney for the Menendez brothers says Eric Menendez is dealing with a serious medical condition. Eric and his brother Lyle are trying to get their prison sentence reduced for the murders of their parents more than 30 years ago. On Wall Street, stocks ending mixed today. This is ABC News.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
So, you've got your dream car, your dream girl in the passenger seat, and nothing but road in front of you.
Okay, slow down a little, yeah?
But this isn't a dream. This isn't a movie or a video game. This is real life. And in real life,
Look out! Look out! Look out!
there are real consequences. Speeding endangers you, your loved ones, and everyone else on the road. While speeding may seem like the quicker option, speeding catches up with you. This message is presented by NHTSA.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. The Stark County Grand Jury has indicted a teen on charges stemming from a shooting in Canton. The 16-year-old from Akron is charged with attempted murder and 2 counts of felonious assault. The charges include gun specifications. 2 Canton men were wounded in the April 20th incident at a house party in the 900 block of 22nd Street Northeast. The victims were taken to Canton hospitals for treatment. The teen was originally charged as a juvenile. His case was sent to the grand jury last month. The Canton City Health Department says West Nile virus has turned up again in the city. The Ohio Department of Health confirmed 2 mosquitoes collected June 30th tested positive. They were trapped on Schroyer Avenue Southwest and at Barr Elementary School. This brings the total of West Nile virus positive mosquitoes to 10. Health Department staff continue to identify and remove areas of stagnant water and larvicide, which is the primary method of mosquito abatement. Mosquito spraying will resume July 28th and will continue throughout various parts of the city through August 6th. Alliance City Council has approved legislation for replacement of a bridge in the 100 block of East Broadway Street. The ordinance passed Monday allows the city to advertise for engineering services, select a firm, and contract for the roughly $760,000 project. They will apply for a grant from ODOT for 80% of the cost. The city must provide $62,000. The bridge was built as a railroad overpass. The railroad is now a bike path. Council also approved a rehire agreement with the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association and Fraternal Order of Police for Sergeant Joseph Wire. He will retire at the end of the year, but will return as a full-time patrolman. Wire has 33 years with Alliance Police, including time as director of the department's training facility and tactical commander of the Special Response Team. A federal judge has sentenced a longtime member of a Canton gang to 27 months in prison. Judge Sarah Leoy handed down the punishment July 1st to Lemuel Brown of Alliance. Brown pleaded guilty in April to charges of racketeering conspiracy, distribution of a controlled substance, and conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute cocaine and fentanyl. He was the last member of the Shore Block gang to be sentenced. Brown had been sought since 2021. Authorities say the gang was responsible for violent street crimes in the city for a large part of the past decade, including shootings, robberies, and drug trafficking. The cause of an apartment fire in Canton is under investigation. Firefighters were called to the 800 block of 5th Street Northwest just before 2:30 this morning. Flames were contained to the room of origin, and residents of unaffected units were able to return. Damage to the structure and contents was valued at $7,000. One resident of the affected unit was taken to Altman Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The city of North Canton will have a new mayor. City Council President Matthew Stroya will be sworn in Friday. He replaces Stephen Wilder, whose retirement is effective the same day. Wilder was elected mayor in 2019 and re-elected twice. He began with the city in 1981 as an auxiliary police officer. Wilder eventually became chief of the department in 2010, retiring 7 years later. Perry Township has a new administrator. Trustees appointed Geraldine Cotter last week. Her first day was July 16th. Cotter most recently spent 14 years as a project manager for the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. She is a Kentucky native and grew up in Long Island, New York. Cotter served as a Genoa Township trustee in Delaware County from 2006 to 2009 and was a member of the Westerville School Board from 2016 to 2019. She replaces Joyce Martin, who retired in May. Cotter is a graduate of West Virginia University and Loyola University in New Orleans. A lawsuit accuses Norfolk Southern Railroad of causing a woman's death. The estate of Cheryl Roush filed the suit in Youngstown Federal Court. It alleges Norfolk Southern was aware employees on the train that derailed in East Palestine were not prepared at the time of the February 2023 incident. The wrongful death suit also claims the railroad did not notify federal authorities about the derailment until 2 hours after it occurred. It alleges chemicals were released into the air and directly into Roush's home, causing injuries and leading to her death from respiratory issues in July 2023. The suit seeks at least $250,000 in damages. A separate lawsuit alleging 7 deaths related to the derailment is pending in Franklin County. A man has pleaded not guilty to charges in an East Liverpool murder. 33-year-old Daniel Whitley of East Liverpool was arraigned Monday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. He was indicted last month on charges of aggravated murder, tampering with evidence, and 2 gun specifications. Whitley allegedly shot 58-year-old James Powell of East Liverpool at Utah and Montrose Streets May 15th. He died of his injuries. Whitley was arrested after he was found hiding under a nearby porch. Police believe the shooting resulted from a dispute over a woman. Whitley is being held in the county jail on $1 million bond. A final status conference hearing is scheduled for September 22nd and a jury trial for October 14th. Boardman police say a gunshot struck a home and damaged a television early Sunday. Officers responded to the Jeanette Drive location after a woman said she was awakened by a loud noise and found a bullet on the floor. No one was injured. Police say the shot was fired from some distance away and believe it was a stray from an incident in neighboring Youngstown. A vehicle had been shot up at a parking lot on West Midlothian Boulevard, and a man was arrested. 4 armed persons kicked in the front door of a Youngstown apartment building and went upstairs before robbing the residents Monday night. Police were alerted to the incident on West Philadelphia Avenue on the city's south side around 7:30. The assailants reportedly were wearing black clothing and ski masks. They had pistols or tasers. One of the suspects pulled a gun and struck a man in the head. He did not report any injuries. The assailant asked in Spanish where money was being hidden. The suspects searched a bedroom. They fled in a car with cash from a wallet, credit cards, an ID, phone, passport, and a tablet. A woman said one of the suspects could be her ex-husband. An investigation is ongoing. A Mahoning County judge has sentenced a man to time served for leading police on a chase. Collin Police Judge John Durkin handed down the punishment to 19-year-old Devlin Schneider of Lake Milton Monday. He has been in the county jail since the pursuit. Schneider pleaded guilty in May to charges of failure to comply and obstructing official business. He will be released after a Friday hearing in juvenile court for a probation violation. Milton Township Police said Schneider was passed down in his vehicle at a Milton Avenue bar in July 2024. He drove away while an officer was speaking to him but was arrested a short time later. An accident on State Route 151 in Harrison County Friday afternoon resulted in 1 fatality and left 3 others injured, according to Bowerston fire officials. Emergency crews responded to the scene of a multi-vehicle wreck around 3:30 p.m. involving 2 SUVs towing trailers and a semi hauling a 100-ton crane. The semi and crane were fully engulfed in flames. 1 person died in the crash, while 3 others were taken to area hospitals for treatment. ODOT later said Route 151 was opened west of Bowerston with temporary traffic signals. Repairs will be done in the coming week. The House reconvened Monday and agreed to override one of Governor Mike DeWine's 67 line-item budget vetoes. DeWine signed the state's 2-year budget into effect June 30th. Item 66, school district property tax levy restrictions, passed Monday 61-28. The House did not vote on the other 2 vetoes. If the veto override is concurred by the Senate, political subdivisions will no longer be allowed to levy replacement property tax levies, and school districts will no longer be able to levy fixed sum, emergency, substitute emergency, and combined income tax and fixed sum property tax levies. These levies are typically used to provide funding for day-to-day operations. Proponents of the change say words like emergency and replacement mislead voters into voting for property tax increases they may not want. To successfully override a gubernatorial veto, the House must have 60 of 99 members agree, and the Senate must have 20 of 33 members concur. 89 House members were present Monday. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 44,502, up 179 points. The Nasdaq Composite fell 81 points, ending at 20,892, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,309, up 4 points. It's 80 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for nothing but sunshine with a high near 82 degrees. Mostly clear overnight. Some patchy fog late, a low around 58 degrees. Patchy fog hanging around Wednesday morning, otherwise sunshine with a high of 88. Thursday, sunshine, a high of 92. Showers and thunderstorms likely Friday afternoon, otherwise partly sunny, a high of 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
To give them a chance to rally. Now Kyle Manzardo clobbers it to deep right field. Gone! And the Guardians go ahead 6-5. The 2-2. Juan coming in. Going out Jose. Bucket! Ramirez hangs on to finish the game. Superman hitting the ball in the air to center field. The starting pitcher hits a monster home run. He is out of this world.
That catcher's interference? That's a good question.
The call on the field is overturned. There is catcher's interference.
Wow! The Phillies have won on a catcher's interference.
Take your bags.
Baseball is amazing.
And this is hooked to left field, and it's into the corner. Springer is in to score. Guerrero is getting the wave. And he'll come into a 2-run double for Bichette to give the Blue Jays the lead.
And Soto hits a ground ball up the middle, base hit. Acuna's in. Here comes Lindor. The game is tied.
Oh, yeah. Exciting baseball last night. Guardians with a 10-5 win. Hosey making a great catch to end the game. Manzardo hits a 3-run dinger. Hey, we're only 10 out of the division. Hey, we're only 3.5 out of the wild card. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome in. AM 1310 WDPN. You can watch and listen on the WDPN Facebook page and X page. And, of course, you can watch and listen and drop your comments on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. It's so easy. Just go to YouTube, type in Q92. Boom. There we are. Live and living color and audio and everything in between. But make no mistake, we still appreciate and love the fact that you listen to us on the good old radio, in your car, at home. Maybe you're sitting out on the patio, you're working on the car, you're having a little drink after work today, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Shout out and hello to all of you listening in today and every day here on the Sam Bourquin Show. All right, phone lines are open too at 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. If you have not heard today, some sad news in the music world, entertainment world, just sad news overall. Ozzy Osbourne passed away at the age of 76. We've been playing some Ozzy music for you today. As we come in and out of breaks, we got a couple more of his hits to play for you before we wrap things up here at 6 o'clock. Guardians in action against the Orioles. 6:40 first pitch at Progressive Field, Game 2 of that 4-game series. 10-5 last night. Can they make it 2 in a row against the Birds? I think they will. I think you see a lot of runs tonight, too. I think I think the Guard get it. Yeah, wouldn't it be something if by the time we get back here tomorrow, we've got the lead under 10 in the division, right? Detroit loses another, we win one, we'll be 9 out. Wouldn't that be unbleeping believable? At one point, the Guardians were 15.5 games out in the division. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? I mean, it would take an epic collapse by the Tigers. And the Guardians would have to play out of their mind the rest of the way. What are we right now? 40? We're 49-50. So let's say we win tonight. We're at 100. We're 62 games left. Got a fairly doable schedule. Wouldn't that be something? Would you go out of your mind if they caught the Tigers and won the division? Oh, my God. They would go insane up in Detroit. They would go insane. I know. Calm down. Okay. But the wild card's there. Wild card's there to be had. Only 3.5 games out. So hook up your trains, hook up the wagons, and let's go. Game 2 tonight at Progressive Field. Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival right around the corner. As a matter of fact, this weekend is the balloons and the fireworks and the drone show over at Kent Stark. That's Friday, Saturday. And then next week, we start getting things rolling with the first play. A lot of events leading up to Thursday's game between the Chargers and Lions. And then Friday, of course, you get the big, the fashion show. You got the dinner. You've got, of course, the big concert on Sunday, the parade, and the enshrinement on Saturday. There's so much going on. It's here. It's almost here. And I thought we would kind of go with our poll question today, encompassing that, because, we have a lot of visitors that come in, a lot of people that come from out of town. tens of thousands of people come here every year for the Hall of Fame. They may stay for 2 days. They may stay for a week or somewhere in between. They might drive in. They might fly in, might take a train, but they're just they're getting settled in. They're going to be here for a little while, and we love having everybody in. And my question today was, what's the one restaurant that you would recommend to every single out-of-town guest that's here for Hall of Fame week? One eating establishment that you would recommend to everybody. Which one would it be? Where would it be? Lots of response on social media. Keep that coming. Keep the calls coming, too, at 330-821-1310. We'll get back to the list here in a couple of seconds. There's so many good ones. I know it's hard to just go with one. Sometimes I like to make things a little more difficult than I should. But where's the one place you would say, you know what, Mr. or Mrs. Out-of-Towner, before you leave, you have to go here? What's that one spot? What's that one spot? 330-821-1310. You can text it in at 330-924-7088. Don't forget, on this day in sports history coming up in about 7 or 8 minutes, we're also going to play for you the Ozzy Osbourne Take Me Out to the Ball Game 7th inning stretch rendition from Wrigley Field back in 2003. That will live on forever. We got that coming up for you too here as well. Browns camp underway. They'll really start getting going tomorrow. Everybody should be in, and they'll be off and running. I want to thank Al Pawlowski from Cleveland Guardians TV for joining us, talking Guards baseball here in the 3 o'clock hour. Let's see if we got any more recommendations for our friends coming in from out of town for Hall of Fame week. I mean, there's so many places you can go. So many. And also that I love, I would say probably 95% of the responses, the comments I'm getting are local eateries, mom and pop places. Had a couple of the chains, but not very many. And nothing against the chains. They work hard too. But when folks come in from out of town, they're looking for something a little different. They want to take a little piece of Canton back with them, or Maslin, or Alliance, or North Canton, or wherever. You can do the chains anytime. You go to some place that you're going to hunker down for a couple of days. You want to enjoy everything that city, that town, that place has to offer. You hit up the mom and pops. That's just what you do. John says, Cameo Grill, Sammy. Can't beat it. Ricardo says, Bender's. Cheryl Ann says, the Desert Inn. Billy says, the Mayfair, if it was still open. Yeah. I miss the Mayfair too. Taggart's though, a go-to. I'm still trying to find out about mint in lime. Julie sent this in. I don't know what mint in lime is. Is that a restaurant? Is it a bar? Is it a combo place? What is it and where is it? I really want to know.
It might be a bit of a drive, but I would say Hartville Kitchen would be a great local place. Their food is so good.
Yes, and good for you.
Absolutely. Fresh. Actually fresh food.
Love Hartville Kitchen. Let's see here. Jerry says the Bistro of Oakwood. Never had a bad meal there. Mark says Fatheads. That's like one of the first chains we've had. Carm. Hey, Carm. Conestoga. Can't beat Conestoga. James says Sparta. And then if you're a little bit up north, Luigi's in Akron. Could go for Luigi's salad right now. All 5 pounds of that cheese. Let's go. Frank says Scalpers Bar and Grill. Donald says great food. Love it. Little pricey, but worth every penny. Mark says the Diamond Grill. Little ways up north in Akron. Love the Diamond Grill.
I mean, we're kind of omitting the most obvious one, Gervasi.
Nobody's mentioned Gervasi.
Gervasi's great.
You just did.
The bistro's fantastic.
And they're so busy too because a lot of people stay there.
Oh yeah, I
for
bet.
like the whole week.
Absolutely.
I know a couple of Hall of Famers that have actually had their post induction ceremonies, private parties at Gervasi, and it's been incredible. Steve says the place with the best burger in town, downtown Canton, George's. Nothing to look at, but you will love it. Stefan says Conestoga or Smitty's Steak and Ale in Maslin. That's a good one too. Thanks, Stefan, for bringing that in. Yeah, there's so many great ones. And folks, when you're coming in from out of town, you may be listening to us right now or watching on social media, the stream. I hope we've given you some good ideas, some great places to go when you come visit us for our big Hall of Fame festival.
Hey, Sal is texting in to let you know that Mint and Lime is in the Butler Plaza by Jackson High School, Asian bistro style restaurant, and it's good.
Okay.
So we thank you, Sal, again.
Thank you, Sal. Mint and Lime. I'm writing this down right now because I'll forget. Mint and Lime, and he said that's over
in the Bueller Plaza by Jackson High School.
Oh, the Bueller's Plaza. Okay.
I leave the S off. I did, didn't I?
Well, no, it just came to me.
Yeah.
Bueller.
He put it on there. I just didn't even read it for some reason.
Yeah, because wasn't a BAM over there and they went out. So maybe this is the building that Mint and Lime occupied. I know I'm speaking way out of turn there, but I'm thinking maybe that's where that's at. Sal, good stuff. I appreciate that. All right. Ozzy Osbourne passed away today at the age of 76. We've been playing a lot of his great music as we come in and out of break here on the show today. We hope you've enjoyed that. He was at home, surrounded by his family. I thought it was really cool. He got to go up on stage a couple of weeks ago and perform one last time. I was just watching that again during the break at the top of the hour. And, oh, my God, the amount of people that were crying while he was singing Mama, I'm Coming Home. Oh, that'll get you. That'll get you. I got that up on my X page at Sam Bourquin 16 if you want to see that. But let's go back to 2003. Wrigley Field, Chicago. It's the bottom of the seventh. You know what time that is. It's time for somebody to go upstairs, get in the booth, grab the microphone, and sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Well, Ozzy Osbourne was there that day, and this is how it sounded.
Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne.
All right, Chicago. I want to hear a real crazy crowd start singing with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and let's go out to the ball game. Let's go out to the river. Take me in, bring us in. I don't remember what I have to do.
Go, Ozzy.
Worry me 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yeah, let's get some runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs.
There he was. Ozzy leading us through the seventh inning stretch, 2003 at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
I mean, in his defense, he is British.
Okay. Is that what that was?
I mean.
Oh, can you imagine if Harry Carey and Ozzy Osbourne ever did a live rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game after 6 innings or so of prep time, if you know what I mean? Can you imagine
pre-gaming, as they call it?
Yeah. Can you imagine what that would have sounded like? I just had an idea. I'm not smart enough to figure it out. Man, Rainsburg, you're way smarter than me with this technology stuff.
I think I get where you're going, and I could probably pull that off.
Okay, all right. We're on the same page. Remember a couple weeks ago we played Harry Carey singing the seventh inning stretch after he had about a 12-pack and maybe another 6-pack? We could mix that in with Ozzy and see what we come up with. Holy smokes.
I don't know what we're going to come up with.
That would be something. Do we have time for a little on this day in history? Or should we wait? Let's go.
Screw it.
That's right. Hey, screw it. Here we go. On this day in 1909, at Huntington Avenue grounds, Ty Cobb stole 3 bases in 1 inning. That was back in 1909. This, to me, is incredible. Obviously, most of us were not around. 1926, at Mitchell Field in New York, Babe Ruth caught a baseball that had been dropped from an airplane flying at over 250 feet. I've got to see video of that. On this day in 2002, a judge issued a gag order in Allard Iverson's assault case. Judge said he wanted to buffer prosecutors and defense attorneys from intense media coverage. On this day in 2005, the NHL Board of Governors voted 30-0 to pass the cap-based collective bargaining agreement that the Players Association has approved the previous day. So the deal ended the 310-day lockout that wiped out the entire NHL season in 2004 and 2005. And finally, on this day in 1962, this was really cool. I went back and listened. This was really cool. Jackie Robinson became the first African-American to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Here's a little bit of the opening of his speech back in 1962.
First, let me say how much of a thrill it is to be coming into the Hall of Fame with Bob Feller, Mr. McKechnie, and Mr. Rouse. I want to also let you know that I feel quite inadequate here this afternoon or this morning, but I think a lot of this has been eliminated because today it seems that everything is complete.
That was Jackie Robinson's speech, some of his speech back in 1962 as he was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Really, really cool moment right there. All right, news and weather coming up at the bottom of the hour. We got 30 more big minutes to go. Hang out with us here on 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:30. Ozzy Osbourne, one of the most beloved and iconic heavy metal singers on the planet, has died at age 76. More on his life from ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy Osbourne was 19 when he co-founded Black Sabbath. The band helped define the metal genre thanks in part to Osbourne's vocals on classic tunes including Iron Man and Paranoid. His wild behavior, sometimes fueled by drink and drugs, earned him the nickname the Prince of Darkness and the Metal Madman. Fired from Black Sabbath after a decade with the group, he went on to an even more successful solo career managed by wife Sharon. In the early 2000s, they found a whole new audience with the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes. A member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Ozzy Osbourne also had 1 Grammy. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
In 2020, Osbourne revealed he had Parkinson's disease. The House is leaving Washington early as Republicans clash over the Jeffrey Epstein files. House Speaker Mike Johnson is rebuffing pressure to act on the investigation into Epstein as some members of the GOP pushed for a vote on the matter. Johnson said this morning that he wants to give the White House space to release the Epstein information on its own. The Speaker's stance seemed unlikely to satisfy many Republicans who are threatening to support a bipartisan bill to pry information from the Justice Department. Even before Johnson spoke, a Republican-controlled committee was advancing a resolution to subpoena Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Meanwhile, the Justice Department says it wants to interview Maxwell, who was convicted of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls and is in prison. President Trump met with the president of the Philippines today and said on social media that imports coming into the U.S. from the Philippines will be set at a 19% tariff rate. U.S. imports into the Philippines will have no tariffs. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president also was taking some questions on trade issues and the specific relationship between the United States and the Philippines, and did say that he wanted to try to strike a trade deal, which is notable because the president has been indicating for weeks that once he had sent these letters out to countries, that was going to be the deal. The Philippines got one. They were told their tariff rate on August 1st would be 20%, but now he's indicating there potentially could be some room for negotiations.
Hunter Biden has criticized prominent Democrats and party advisors in a recent interview. In a podcast published Monday, he expressed frustration over George Clooney's call for President Biden to drop out of the 2024 race. Hunter Biden questioned Clooney's authority to undermine his father, who later departed the race after a poor debate performance. He also accused longtime Democratic strategists of profiting from the party without helping its current efforts. As for the June 2024 debate, Hunter Biden said his father had taken the sleep aid Ambien and was still affected by it. It's 80 degrees and Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon, a high expected around 82 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear with some patchy fog moving in late, low 58. Wednesday, patchy fog early, otherwise sunshine with a high near 88. Thursday, more sun, a high of 92. Friday, afternoon showers and thunderstorms are likely. Partly sunny, otherwise a high near 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Must be the love, yeah, must be the love right now.
There's so much to love in Ohio because the heart-shaped state is the heart of adventure with 76 free state parks, amusement parks, ballparks, and more. The heart of opportunity with great jobs and a low cost of living. Ohio is the heart of it all. Follow your heart at ohio.org.
Sponsored by Tourism Ohio and aired by this station.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board. Get on board.
Go, Ozzy, go. Go, Ozzy. The greatest openings to a song ever. Ozzy Osbourne passed away today at the age of 76. We're doing our little part today, a little musical tribute as we come in and out of breaks here on the show. Some music history on this day. In 1963, the Beach Boys released the single Surfer Girl. 1969, Aretha Franklin was arrested for disorderly conduct after creating a disturbance in a Detroit parking lot. 1972, the variety show, The Bobby Darin Amusement Company, premiered on CBS. Bobby Darin. Was that Mac? Was that the guy that did Mac the Knife? Bobby Darin? Has to be. 1977 on this date, Tony Orlando announced his retirement from show business. On this day in 1979, Little Richard, known as Reverend Richard Penniman, spoke at a revival meeting in North Richmond, California. He warned the congregation about the evils of rock and roll music. And on this day in 2003, Kiss released the album Symphony Alive 4. But again, Ozzy Osbourne passed away earlier today at the age of 76 at his home with his family by his side. It still stinks. Man. Ozzy stuff all over, obviously, all over today. every social media platform there is. I mean, videos, interviews, just a lot of really cool stuff out there. All right, welcome back to the show. We've got about 25 minutes or so until we bid you adieu, and we'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN. Hey, I don't know how I missed this. Shane Bieber is actually going to be pitching tonight in Lake County for the Lake County Captains on a rehab assignment. And it says here that Bieber's going to go about 3 innings or between 30 and 40 pitches tonight. So Shane Bieber we'll be on the mound tonight in Lake County for the Lake County Captains. We'll be monitoring that tonight. Don't worry. And we'll talk about it tomorrow as a part of our show, part of our Guardians Talk right here on 1310 WDPN. Guards and Orioles coming up tonight, by the way, 6:40 game 2 of that 4-game series. Sam Bourquin Show, poll question of the day. What is the one restaurant that you would recommend to every single out-of-town visitor that comes for Hall of Fame week? What's the one restaurant that you would say, hey, you have to go here before you go back home? Which place would it be? Walter says, how about Danny Boys? Can't go wrong there. Jackson says Sparta Lounge. Michael says the Twisted Olive. Bethany, another one for Toesies down in Magnolia. Eric says Mulligan's out in Belden. Remember when Mulligan's used to like rule the roost when we had go back to like the original ribs burn off? And I'm talking like back in the 80s. Maybe the early 90s. It seemed like Mulligan's won like almost every year. It's a great place, though. It's just, it's got character. I like places that have character. Let's see here. Jenny says, John's Bar. Love the new location. Staff is great. Food is great. Let's see. Cosmos in Maslin. Martin says Conestoga downtown. Hey, you never know who you run into at Conestoga. I know a lot of Hall of Famers over the years have popped in there for a visit or two. Doug says Kennedy's and Taggart's. Brian says, hey, what about Sadie Renee's? What the hell? Michael D's Lobies can't beat that either. Sadie Renee's. I think that building is still sitting there. And that's on what, like the 7,000 block of Whipple? Like around between like Portage and Apple Grove, I think. That place hasn't been open for years, and it's still sitting there. Boy, it used to be some wild times out there, from what I hear. Maxine says Lucia's. Says, by the way, I missed the old Lucia's, but this one's pretty good. Henry says Taggart's. Roberto says Taggart's. Mike, this is a different Mike. He says, you got to try the places downtown. No, he says you got to try the places in all of the downtowns. Canton, Maslin, Alliance. You'll find some great eateries. Enjoy. Everybody, welcome to town for the Hall of Fame. Very nice, Michael. Very nice. How about Pawlowski? Why not? I bet you people stay over here in Alliance. We've got a couple of nice hotels on State. I bet you they're booked up for the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's about a half hour away. It's a quiet town. This would be a good place to stay.
It's a great place to stay. Just all you jump right on the freeway.
Yeah, you don't got to deal with traffic too much.
No.
Pretty quiet around here.
And like I said, State Street, man, there's everything you need.
Yeah.
Everything you need. But yeah. Get on the highway, get on 62, get on 77, and boom, you're there. Wherever you want to go. It's a great place to be over here. kind of away from the racket a little bit. Unless you like the racket, that's okay. But it's coming. The visitors will be descending very soon. Next couple of days, big weekend coming up with the balloons and everything, the food and the drone show. I think this is the second year for the drone show. Kind of looking forward to that. It was nice last year. Had a great time last year. So that's Friday, Saturday, and then we get rolling next week with Hall of Fame activities. The people will start to come into town. You'll notice the traffic will pick up a little bit Tuesday, a little bit more on Wednesday, then the game Thursday, and then it gets a little crazy, but we like that. Looking forward to covering some of the big events for AM 1310 WDPN. Be posting a lot of stuff on our social media platforms, and looking forward to that. Now, I will not be here Friday. Taking the day off. But I'll be back on Monday, ready to go at 3 p.m. right here on 1310 WDPN. We're actually going up to Detroit Friday, and we're going to go see former Jackson and Ohio State standout Dylan Dingler, who is catching for the Detroit Tigers now. I'm hoping that he is starting on Friday. They're going to play the Blue Jays, and they're doing a big shirt giveaway. They're having fireworks and a whole big to-do. Now, the game is almost sold out from what I saw. Now, we have our tickets already, but there's going to be a lot of Blue Jays people in because the Toronto people travel well. They love to come to Detroit. They love to come down to Cleveland. A little bit cheaper than it is to go to games in Toronto because they're a little pricey. But they love to travel. They love to come down. So we're looking forward to that. And hopefully Dylan starts and plays and does some cool things. That'll be good. It'll be good to see him. But the weather forecast. Oh. And the weather is even worse for Detroit this weekend. Like Friday and Saturday. I don't know what their policy is on a rain out, but hopefully don't have to go through all that. Unless they would like come back the next day and do like a day-night double. Because we're just doing a quick trip. We're going up Friday morning. We're going to try to get into downtown at no later than 3 or 3:30. Yeah, we'll check in and, we'll get ready and we'll head over to Comerica Park for the ball game. And then we're going to do the game, and we'll probably hang around the stadium area for a little bit afterwards, and then we're going to sleep in a little bit Saturday morning, and then we're gonna drive back home because we plan on being out at the fireworks and drone show at Kent on Saturday night. So it's just a real quick trip. We're going to go up to Detroit and see the Blue Jays and the Tigers and Dylan Dingler Friday night at Comerica Park. So we are certainly looking forward to that. I'm thinking about am I going to take a bunch of flack? I'm really thinking about getting the Detroit Tigers hat. Am I going to be looked down upon because we're trying to chase them in the division? Is that bad? Am I bad to even think of that? Well, we're going to watch Dylan play. Not my son, Dylan Dingler from Jackson. Am I going to take a bunch of flack when I come in here on Monday if I got a nice brand new Tigers cap? I'm rooting on for the local guy. Plus, I need a new hat anyway. A lot of my hats, my God, they need to go. They're just done. I've had them for too long. I need to get rid of them. I need to get, you know what I like to do? I like to buy about 15 hats. What's a hat run now? About $35-40?
Oh boy, it severely depends on a lot of things.
I'm gonna need to hit like the rolling cash 5 so I can buy a bunch of caps. Now I'm very particular about my hats. They have to be fitted and they have to be stretch fit. I'm not doing this snap back. I'm not wearing adjustable. It's got to be like the 39 brand I really like. I think MLB's got a piece of that or something. Excuse me. That's what I like. So if I come in here with a Detroit Tigers hat on Monday, I'd be nice. I want to get a new hat, and I'm rooting for Dylan Dingler, former Jackson Polar Bear and Ohio State Buckeye. So there. But I do need some new hats. Holy smokes. You know what I might do? I might text all the high school football coaches like the night before we have our Stark County High School football preview dinner at St. Barnabas Church coming up. I might send them a text. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. How about hooking me up with a hat? There's 20 coaches coming. If I could score 5 hats out of the deal, I think it would be a success. And then what I would do, I would alternate wearing them here during the show. I think that's a great idea.
I think you just got to spin that as free publicity.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, look.
Cross promotion.
Look, I'm wearing your hat today. Are we allowed to do that? Are we allowed to do that kind of a trade in the radio business?
Look, is
that frowned upon?
This is dumb, but it would be really cool if every Friday you could wear a hat associated with the team that you were doing a game for. Like if you're doing a Jackson game, you got a Jackson hat on.
Yeah.
You're doing a Perry game, you got a Perry hat on.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool looking.
Huh? What do you think? What do you think, coaches, athletic directors? I'll pimp your product. I'll wear your hat. I'm a hat guy. I don't go anywhere without a hat. I love them. I think that's a great idea. Because we got some really cool plans for high school football this year. And I think the fact, especially on Fridays when I do my show, might or might not coincide with the game that I'm calling that night. I think it would be really cool if I could just put that hat on and leave it on for the whole day and the whole night. I think that would be a lot of fun. So out of the 20 coaches, you know what? I'm going to shoot for the moon. I'm going to say 15 hats. I want 15 hats at St. Barnabas Church that night. All the coaches can bring me in a hat. It doesn't have to be the most expensive hat. Just a hat of your school and make sure it fits my big fat head. And I'll wear it. I will wear it with pride because I'm a hat guy. If it's adjustable, it's okay. I would prefer fitted, stretch fit, so it fits good, looks nice. But I'll take whatever. I'll take whatever.
Pushing your luck there. I think you just got to stick with take whatever. Beggars can't be choosers.
Well, I guess. I just want it to look nice.
You're asking for free hats. A free hat's a free hat.
But I'm giving the program a little juice, a little visibility. You know what I mean? They're going to see the hat and go, hey, go team. Let's go. Let's go to the game. Let's listen to that game. Better yet, hey, that hat looks really sweet. Guess what? I'm going to go buy one. How about that? That's where we go. Let me get me a little Alliance hat.
Oh, the Aviator A would look cool on a hat.
Aviator A would look sweet.
Yeah.
I like the West Branch with the WB. Would look cool. Little Louisville hat, maybe. I've got 100 Central Catholic hats, but, if I get another one, that would be nice, too. I'll even wear a St. Thomas hat. How about that? I'll wear a St. Tom hat. Coach Henderson, 7 3/4. We'll see you at the dinner. All right, it's 8 minutes before 6 o'clock. We're going to take our final break. We'll come back. Phone lines are still open, 330-821-1310. The text line is still open at 330-924-7088. Guardians Orioles tonight. Browns camp underway at Berea. The Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival is getting closer and closer and closer. We'll get back to our poll question of the day, and we'll put a wrap on it here. 1310 WDPN.
Hello, I'm Count Nation Queen contestant number 16, Annabelle Goodwin, sponsored by Mad Trail Leasing. As we celebrate this year's Carnation Festival, I'm inviting all area golfers to take part in the 29th Annual Carnation Golf Scramble on Friday, August 1st at Tanner Hall Golf Club, sponsored by the YWCA. We will hit the green at 9 a.m. for a great day of golf on a beautiful course.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 554, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, you can always watch and listen to us on the WDPN Facebook page, our page on X, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. A lot of folks listening and watching today. We appreciate that, as always. Good. A lot of you watching on X today. Good deal. All right, phones are open, 330-821-1310. Text line open at 330-924-7088. If you missed it earlier today, Ozzy Osbourne passed away at the age of 76. We've been doing our little small part today, a little tribute, as we've been playing a lot of Ozzy songs coming in and out of the break on the program today. 76, passed away at his home, surrounded by family. And again, I'm so glad he got a chance to get back up on stage and perform again a couple of weeks ago. That was really cool. I bet a lot of folks didn't think Ozzy would make it to 76. He lived hard.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. There were probably a lot of folks that thought if Ozzy made it to 60, it would have been unbelievable. He made it to 76, though.
Because, I mean, he's the guy who bit the head off of a bat and
he did.
Snorted a line of fire ants.
He did.
You know, good for him.
Like I said, Ozzy, as far as living life, he did not get cheated. He did it his way, and that's the way it was. But man, he was a terrific entertainer. And again, this comes from a person when I was growing up. I wasn't into Ozzy Osbourne at all. I knew of some of the music. I watched some of the crazy videos on MTV. And I said, wow. I mean, as a youngster, I was like scared a little bit of Ozzy. I was. The makeup and some of the clothes he would wear, I thought, what the? But man, he could entertain. He could sing. Had a lot of great hits. R.I.P. Ozzy, 76 years old today, passed away at his home.
I think it's interesting because I grew up with like 90s Ozzy Osbourne, the Osbourne's version of Ozzy Osbourne. So it was a very different experience for me as a kid.
Yeah,
I was not scared of Ozzy Osbourne.
See, I was. I was for a little bit.
That makes sense. You got Black Sabbath Ozzy. I got the Osbournes Ozzy.
Right.
Two very different Ozzies.
Yes. I watched a lot of that show, to be honest with you. Now that I think about it, I watched a lot of the Osbournes. I don't know how long that ran. But I thought it was, again, entertaining in its own way. I mean, between Ozzy and Sharon and was it Jack, his son, and Kelly? I mean, yeah, that was quite the crew. It was very entertaining. I'm gonna miss Ozzy, but hey, you know what? The videos and the music and the performances and all that stuff is gonna be there. It's gonna be there forever. So may that live on. No doubt about it. All right, let's see what the Guardians do tonight. I'm predicting, again, a very high-scoring game. I'm predicting a high-scoring game, and I think Cleveland will win tonight, and that'll get us back to 500. We'll be fitty and fitty after 100 games, and now we start the stretch of 62. We're 3.5 games out in the third spot in the wild card. Tampa and Texas, as we sit here right now, are the teams in front of us. We are a half a game in front of the Angels, a game in front of Kansas City, and a game and a half in front of Minnesota. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. We were looking up at all those teams. Okay, we were at the bottom. We were looking at Minnesota, KC, the Angels, Texas, and Tampa Bay. So slowly but surely, we're crawling in there. We're crawling back in there.
I know. I keep thinking about like a month and a half ago when you said the Guardians were like plus 20,000 to win the World Series. And
yeah,
I was like, I should just put $20 on that just because.
Hey, they're 15,000 now if you want to get in.
Oh yeah, okay. I could still. That's still pretty good. I figured it would have gone down a lot by now.
Plus 15,000.
I mean, you throw $10 on that. That's what, $15,000 if you win.
Hey, buy a lot of hats for that money.
You're not losing much with $10.
All right, that's going to do it for today's edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. Thanks to my producer extraordinaire, Ryan Rainsberg. Thanks to all of you for texting, calling, emailing, and commenting. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Had a great day today, everybody. Thanks for listening. Remember, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.